This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua.
Rolling down 109 in a truck. Pull my ride up to the light, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. His palace mob and tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs. The level where funds is tragic and lavish is none. With rebels, they runs and rabbits like savages' sons. With did him and bigger and swiftly he shined the mud. That city a pity with 50 took 9 of them slugs. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua.
What's good, 25 to Life Testimony TV family? What's good in the building? Hold on, let me get myself together. All right, sorry, got locks all over the place, looking all crazy like. What's good, family? Shout out to my New York family over on Facebook. They're going to be coming in. A couple of them probably be coming in a little bit tonight for this story here. This story here got some ears perked up. This story tonight. All right. This story here, so perked up, I'm kind of early. I started at 8:30. Actually, I ain't never did that almost. It's because I changed my schedule around a little bit, trying to get up a little earlier so I could be functioning. All right, not staying up working all night. But anyway, all right, let me see. Shout out. I'm so early and a lot of people ain't here yet. I know people like, what? Unc beat us in the building. Shalayam, Yahakanan, Shalayam, Zayana, Shalayam, Ahana Ya, and Zayala Ya, and Brother Wyatt and Lara Ya. All right, Shalayam to everybody that's going to come in. That's peace and blessings in the Hebrew tongue for those out there who like, what is a Shalayam? Y'all heard the convert people, they say shalom, right? But the original Hebrew, we say shalayam. All right. So anyway, and I ain't no Hebrew Israelite hate cult group, all that wickedness. I am a child of the Most High. It's so right what y'all know. But I can't change my identity, and I wouldn't at any cost. So that Bible is written about me, my bloodline. All right. But I identify with these hate groups out there calling themselves Israelite, black Hebrew Israelites running around with the star and cursing out people with a Bible and wearing the clown costumes and all that. Be careful what you align yourself with to people who are so-called awakening. So my people back in New York, don't get it twisted. I ain't tripping, bump my head. You ain't gonna be running around with no clown costume cursing people out with a Bible. All right, child of the Most High. All right, hold on. Bless me. All right. Whew. That's because I just ate something, got a little peppery to it. Pepper make me sneeze. All right. So let's get started. We early. Now, this channel, I am now a man of the Most High, a minister. I used to be in those streets during the crack era. So a lot of these stories on this channel, it's going to be talking about New York City in the crack era, because that's where I'm from, and that's when that was my era of growing up. It was even before the crack era, the beginning of hip hop. We're gonna be going back to the beginning of hip hop. I mean, back to the foundation, before a rap record was even released. You heard that one? That part? Before the world, most of y'all who know about hip hop and like music and rap and stuff, whether it was from the 80s or the 90s with Nas and Rakim, or it was Wu-Tang, or it was later, whether it was the California rappers, Tupac and them, and whether it was, Dr. Dre and Snoop and them, whether it was go all the way up, before y'all even knew, all of y'all, before it was released to any other state, it was confined in New York City, and we was getting it from cassette tapes. We're going to go back to the beginning of hip-hop as well. Yeah, Unc was there. All right, now, so this channel is about the trials and tribulations and testimonies of me and my journey to now becoming a man of the Most High, and all the sins and the transgressions I did and unrighteous acts and deeds I did in my error and in my sin and my lack of knowledge, okay, growing up, all right, in the streets, right, before, when they pumped heroin and they pumped crack, when they pumped all these things, they did this experiment on the so-called black people and put them in these ghettos and projects. I'm from the project. I'm a project baby. Parkside Projects in Hempstead, Strong Island. All right. My mom's from Brevoort Projects in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Y'all see that? My biological dad is from Parkside Projects in Hempstead, Strong Island, and my biological mom is from Brevoort Projects in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, Bainbridge Buildings. All right? So I'm a project of what's the name of the project of a project, a byproduct of a project. All right. So, they took the leadership first, back in the 50s, they took the men out of the home. And then, we used to have, when I grew up, little kids, we had the Black Panthers and all of them. They took all of them out, they took them out, anything that would lead us from being darkness. They took the, they took all of the protective elements around from us. So we were left to our own devices in the hood. So the stories on this channel is not to glorify any of these things that I'm bringing out. It's not to glorify but it's a testimony. The Bible, the scripture says salvation, people's journey, salvation is in the testimony. The testimony is the things, the testament to your life, the things that you overcome. We are called to be overcomers. Okay? So I'm not glorifying, I'm just showing, and hopefully, shout out to Drizzy, Buffalo, New York in the building. I'm hopefully within my testimony, someone else that's younger than me, guys, can learn and grow from that, my testimony, my mistake, right? A wise man learns from the mistakes of others, you see? And that's why we, as leaders, as elders, when you become older, you're supposed to tell your story to the youth so that some of them might not go down that same path. That's the each one reach one. Shout out to Brother Ra in the building, Raheem Rayford, Ra Napierre, Crown Heights in the house. You heard? It's going down tonight. Now, so the stories on the channel is not to glorify, but this story, this is a testament to my life. So the people who I tell on these stories, these people, they affected my life in one way or another. And tonight, I'm telling the story of my brother, Eugene Grant, from a place called Hempstead, Strong Island, a place called Crown Heights. See, in Hempstead, shout out to Reese in the building. In Hempstead, it's a big ghetto, it's huge. My high school housed 35 to 4,000 or to almost 5,000 students in one school. Our hood is huge. It's a whole city. That's why you really don't want no beef with Hempstead. If we ever came together, like I'm gonna tell a boom bash story when we came together, and it was insane. If we ever come together, it's over. We encompass a whole city. It's like a whole borough within itself, just one place. All right. Now, within my Hempstead, the place that I grew up, all right, I grew up in Hempstead, Strong Island, Jamaica, Queens, and Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. The three places where my parents is from, where I was from, and where I lived. All right, once I left Hempstead, you know what I mean? Now, in Hempstead, back in the days, there was two of the strongest, the two biggest factions, hoods, was called the Hills, Hills. This is a neighborhood that they call this part the Hills, and it's because there's a hill. I guess that's what it is. There's a hill when you come from Peninsula Boulevard, a street, you go up the hill and you make it to Parkside Projects. I don't know why they call it the Hills, but that's the only thing I could think of. Somebody might know, right? And then you had another neighborhood in Hempstead called the Heights. One was the Hills, one is the Heights. Heights and Hills. Now, when we grew up, we was young, there used to be wars from the Heights. It was always Heights versus the Hills. But me, from a little boy, And then from my rap group, the Nasty Forum C's, were the beginning of hip hop, one of the most famous beginning rap groups in hip hop from the beginning, where Method Man come from, Bismarck come from, Busta Rhymes come from, all of it, and they said it themselves out of their mouth. All right, I got receipts for all that, but whatever. Right, this ain't about that tonight. But because of my rap group, and I was a childhood rap star, I started at like 8 years old. We were rap before rap records and stuff, right? When at the first rap records and stuff, right? I remember learning the words to the first one I really mastered was Funky Four plus one more. Mastered, what's the name's rhyme at the end? I think it's Keith. I forgot whose rhyme is, but whatever. So anyway, because of me being a childhood rap star, shout out to Sister Phyllis Richards, I would travel to every hood. I wasn't, see, where in my hood, it's like California. You know how California later became Bloods and Crips, and you have neighborhoods, and you really didn't get caught in this part of the hood, and you in a rival territory, right? That's what they did to the so-called black people, to have us warring against one another in our own poverty, right? And right. So when I grew up, if you wasn't, if you was from the hills and you get caught out there on the heights and you in the wrong place, it can be you can get yourself into serious trouble. And when I go back to the original, before hip hop was created, when it was gangs in New York, right? When Brooklyn had the Jolly Stompers and stuff, and we had the Warlords and the Paybacks and stuff. So my projects was the Warlords. You understand? Now these are elders now. This is everyone did time for the crimes they committed, and this is just testimony. These are grown men now. This is stuff that they grew up under. And in my projects, we had our elder Joey Douglas in them. You know what I mean? And that was their head. So I grew up watching the Warlords have their meetings in the circle on 67 in my projects. But the Heights, they had that. So now our generation come up under that. So the Heights and the Hills, right? So the Heights and now, because I was a rapper, and we were performing everywhere. So we are everywhere, right? So now you don't only have the Heights and the Hills; those are big. I'm talking about it's thousands of people. I guess how many people you could say? I don't know, it's probably 1,000 people in each of these hoods, right? And so we have the Heights. I was from the Hills. Then you have the Heights, where my brother Gene Grant. I'm gonna tell this story tonight, and I'm gonna tell something about Dave O. He's from the Hills. Then you had Terrace Avenue. That's where Method Man from the Wu-Tang came from. Rock Marciano came from there too, from the Flip Mode. For those who know hip hop, they come from Terra Avenue. Then you have Midway. That's another hood in it. Then you have Trackside by the train tracks. Then you have, I'm going to probably forget one. Then you have Hollywood Store back over there, and the Boondocks back up in there. Heights, Hills, Terra Ave, Midway, Hollywood, Trackside. I think that's about it, so far as I can remember. And all of these are ghettos within one hood, all right, within one neighborhood. But when I grew up, when I was a little boy, this is like the 70s and stuff. When I came up, 70s and early 80s, just for my generation, what I noticed, I witnessed, the Heights, so the Hempstead Heights neighborhood, they named themselves Crown Heights. Now we know we got a Crown Heights in Brooklyn, right? So, but this is a Crown Heights in Hempstead, Strong Island. That's where Granddaddy IU is from there too. I'm trying to think of just some of these celebrities that y'all might know of. You know what I mean? He's from Crown Heights in Hempstead, Strong Island. Now, they turned themselves Crown Heights. Now, when I came up, them something was in the water, and the Crown Heights and the Heights, them boys was fighters, boy. Them boys was, it's some wild. I got a lot of stories coming. I got some stories coming from my OGs in the Hills too, but I got a lot of stories coming from the Heights. And by the time I tell it, y'all gonna say like, yeah, them boys was fishy. All right. So now the when I guess we got a troll in here. I don't know what that is. How did a troll find us in the 25 to Life channel? They used to be over on our ministry channel. I don't know what that is. A troll and found us over here. All right. So anyway, now, um, now when we I don't know what he's saying. I guess he's saying I don't know who no Montana 3000 is. I mean, whoever you are, I'm older than you, boy. I'm old enough to be your granddad. Sit your little butt down somewhere before I pop you in your head. Get out of here with this clown stuff. You know who you talking about. I'm looking like somebody. I'm probably old enough to be you and their granddaddy. Sit down, shut up. Idiot juice. Smack you right in your face. So, no, I won't. See, this is how you die to the flesh. No, I won't. I'm sorry. I apologize. I will not. That is the flesh. I am no longer that. I put that down. I repent. I apologize. I apologize. I will not do anything to you. I will try to help you and pour into you and lead you to righteousness. And Montana is a rapper. Yeah, I don't know who these kids is, unless you're talking about Rakim, and I don't know what these kids. What's the one that just died? I see, because you know the YouTuber. And the funny one of them, no disrespect to the dead, but y'all know in the ministry I always call people Fulio, right? I mean they acting foolish. And some rapper, his name was Fulio. I said, what the? I'm literally called always, and people would think I knew that there was some rapper named Fulio. And in the ministry, I call people Fulio when they act foolish, right? So some rapper just died named Fulio and foreign, like, I don't know these kids. My dude, so sorry. I repent again. Again, we are, so I'm over on the 25 life, having to repent. All right. So anyway. That's what we held accountable, guys. I'm no longer. In my past life, I would have been wanting all that smoke with you, brother G, but no more. I want peace, and I want about pouring in, and not to lead you not to be violent to no one else either, because it leads to the prison. You see, it leads to jail. It leads to death. It's the gates to it. It's a portal of sin. Shout out to Chris Lofton in the building. OG Chris. Shout out to Chris. Peace, Chris. All right, let me get started with the story. All right, so the heights and the hills. Chris can attain it. Chris is my elder. Boy, them heights boys, Chris, back in the day, them heights boys, there was a lot of them, right? Them boys used to be putting it in, Chris, right? We got a lot of them. So I'm going to be telling a lot of their stories and stuff. But I'm going to telling some of my stories of our brothers, too, from the hills. All right, so now, there was always like a warring faction between the heights and the hills, right? Now, with me, because we were in the Nasty Four, I was rapping, I was always on the heights and the hills and performing. So when some of the others from our hood couldn't be at the heights and the basement parties, like this in New York City, guys, we used to have basement parties. So the heights, they have a lot of houses. They don't really got too many projects. They got like the 600s. It didn't start out as a project, but it became projects later. It started out as a nice building. But so a lot of them, they live in houses. But it ain't no white picket fence stuff. It's the hood. You get yourself killed in a minute. Them boys is about that life, right? I'm not promoting that life. It just is what it is. So now, in the hills, we got houses too, but we also got projects. Martin Luther King Drive with Chris Lofton I'm from Parkside Projects, you know what I mean? So now, they would have basement parties at the beginning of hip hop. It was something guys called basement parties, where and they'll charge like 50 cents at the door and $1. I swear, this is beginning of hip hop, and they would have flyers. This before the world y'all knew about hip hop, right? To the brother G, talk about some Montana. This the beginning, brother G. You'll learn to quite. This is a dope channel for you to watch, brother G. Unless you're a troll, because you will actually learn where hip hop come from the beginning. Now this is like beginning of hip hop, first rap records and stuff. You know what I mean? We playing funky 4, 1 plus 1 more. We playing super rapping. Do 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 do. And we talking about throw your hands in the air, 1 for the money, 2 for the show, and yes, y'all, you don't stop until the beat, y'all, and you don't stop. And at the age of 1, my life begun. At the age of 2, I was a boogaloo. At the age of 3, that was hip hop at the beginning. Get it. I know people laughing now because that is raw dog. And now, guys, we be in the basement. We be in the and it be hot. It's in somebody's basement that they throw in a basement party and they put flyers out and it be rent money. Y'all remember people used to throw basement parties and make their rent money. And people would come and it'd be so many people down here and it'd be hot. You in a basement with cement walls, like dirt floors or whatever, unless it's cemented floors in a basement and the walls sweating, and you might have a lighter to light to see. Right. And then by the time, now y'all know doggone well that's a fire trap from hell. Like it's about sweaty, hot, and all you can see is like the light, and then the DJ is sweating, and people 1, 2, yes, yes, y'all, and to the beat, y'all, and battling and rapping and dancing and sweating, and it's just like hot, and it's gonna be a fight. So I'm setting the stage for tonight's story of Gene Grant. So some of the people who would come from the hills and I guess Terra Ave, and I think this before Midway established itself as a separate hood like that, but you know, they would come from over there. We used to call that no, not Grove Street. What we used to call that before was called Midway. We used to call it something else over there, right? And so for those who would go to the parties, it's very dangerous. The basement parties, Brooklyn, everybody had this all through Queens, Brooklyn, whether it was basement. Now we had community center parties too, in the community centers and basements and like the armories and the line. This is the beginning of hip hop. Yeah, Gladys Avenue. Thank you, Reese. That's what we used to call it. Before it was called Midway, it was called Gladys Avenue. Facts, Gladys. There you go. And we used to have Gladys Den over there. There was a bar over there too, the Gladys Den. All right. So thank you, Reese. So now, because I was a little kid rap star, right? And we were big in hip hop before the beginning, before the records, before your world knew about it, right? It had street rap stars through tapes. And before even we got to radio either, it was tapes, and your tape or your live performance, people would know you from your live performance and they would come see us perform. So because of it, as even a little boy, I was over Unique, shout out to Daddy U, Unique and them older than me, they used to always, we would be in there because I wanted to get the mic. So they used to have to sneak me in the basement party, and at 12 o'clock, they would cut the lights on and try to find out who underage to kick them out. And Unique would hide me in the speakers and stuff, and then once I started rapping, they'd let me stay when they kicked the other youth out. I'm a little boy. Now, because this is how I grew up over on the Heights. I grew up, so I knew everybody from all sides, and they knew me in the rap. So I knew people from the Heights personally and stuff that some of my people from the hills didn't really have like a relationship with them like that. So I was kind of like a universal, and it was because of the hip hop at the beginning. Later, with the Nation of Gods and Earths, that happened again because I was God body, so the God bodies and stuff. And then even playing sports, Little League football, right? Little Tigers, Hempstead Tigers, we would have people from the Heights all on my football team, right? Like Desmond Cox and all of them. Like Desi said he gonna be joining in tonight. Shout out to 40 Deuce, Curtis Moore. He said they had the Garden of Eve. That's what I said. I just said it, 40. The garden used to be the Garden of Eve bar. Shout out to 40 in the building. Now, because of that, guys, I'm walking it down. I know people on the Heights. So even if my hood or the hills got beef with the Heights, so I know some of them on the Heights, so I'm back and forth. And then later when I start lifting weights, I'm in Briley Park. So I used to stay on the Heights. I'm on Union Ave, Stewart Ave. So I got a pass all over. Now, Gene Grant, tonight's topic is Gene. Let me see. Let me walk it down. Gene Grant and Dave O. Now, Dave O is in this story. For those from the hills, in Hempstead, I'm talking about Dave O from the Shacks. Black Dave O. Supreme, little brother. The guy Supreme, the oldest. Y'all know Supreme and Dave O, they had started smoking, right? They had started smoking crack because when crack came, it had infiltrated our hood, and some of our soldiers and some of our men fell a victim to it. And even the God body in them too, right? So, and like when heroin came, a lot of our soldiers, I'm talking about the black men in the neighborhoods, fell a victim to the heroin. But so Supreme and his little brother Dave O, they fell a victim to the crack. Now they were functional, they was hustlers, but they were, they were smoking crack, right? And but still functional, right? So I want to start out this this story dedication, if so you will, to my brother Gene Grant. First of all, R.I.P. My brother Gene Grant is dead. He's gone. He passed away. All right. But I want to start it out by saying to Dave O, and if anybody watch this from Hempstead, or when if y'all see Dave O, tell him the guy Rashawn, tell him Rashawn from Parkside Projects, Nasty 4, you know what you're talking about, said, I'm sorry. I apologize. Make amends with the people that you wronged in your life if you can, before they pass away or you pass away. And as after I finish Gene's story, I'm gonna tell a little story with Dave O, and I want to apologize up front. I apologize to you, Dave O. I was I was in my I was crazy at that time. It was my darkest time. I was in that life. It was like a Scarface movie. This was the time on this channel, guys, in '92 when I was running this block, my Elm Street and stuff. Now I did my time for the crimes committed. When I was having shootouts all the time with Freeport dudes, and they was coming. So I was crazy. That was the craziest time I ever was. And I did something to Dave O, which is gonna come out tonight. And I apologize because I like Dave O. And Dave O is intertwined in this story tonight with Gene Grant. So Dave O, I apologize to you. Dave O is a fearless warrior, Tonight's story, y'all will agree. By the time I finish this tonight's story. All right. So tonight's story is Gene Grant, the legend, from Crown Heights, and Dave O from King Hills, the war, New York City crack era. All right. So I want to shout out to brother Derek Hall from Crown Heights. I seen some people commenting on the thumbnail. Shout out to D Hall. D Hall, boy. D Hall is a fighter, boy. I swear, them Heights boys, y'all, I don't know, where they put something in the water for some of y'all. Them boys can fight they butt off. Shout out to D Hall. All right, and let me and shout out to Young Humpty out in California. This one tonight, Young Humpty, you're gonna enjoy this one. I'm talking about my brother Gene Grant. He a legend in my hood, Young Humpty. A legend. Shout out to Kirby Little, my day ones from my school, from Prospect and all that. All right, so now, and it's funny because when I put the thumbnail on YouTube, guys, about Gene Grant, I was wondering how many people was gonna be like, uh-oh, Gene, I'm tuning in. Because a lot of people love Gene. A lot of people love Gene. I'm quite sure Gene did something to some people. I'm quite sure everybody don't love him. Right? I'm quite sure you got some people like, I don't love him. He beat me up or whatever. But Gene was no joke, man. R.I.P. to Gene. Shout out to the brother. What's his name? I wrote it, so I didn't. Brother K. Born, Michi, on Facebook. That's where I got this. Let me put it on the screen now. Because somebody else had posted this picture of Gene Grant, right? And I was saving it because I knew one day I was going to tell Gene's story, because I'm going to tell a lot of people's story because they affect my life. But here we go. When it's time to tell his story, I can't. Thank you, Sister Phyllis Richards. She said, miss you last week. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Sister Phyllis. I humbly appreciate your donation. Thank you, Sister Phyllis. All right. So I was like, this is how it works. When I go to try to tell his story, I spent 4 hours last night trying to find this file and could never find this picture. And before I gave up, I was defeated too. I was like, man, I'm just tell another story or something. Maybe I won't. I gotta go live. I didn't go live last week because I needed to rest. And then I'm like, your spirit don't give up. And so Spirit said, go on Facebook. So I went on Facebook and I just started searching. And I ran across Brother K. Born, Michi's, and he had a picture. The picture that I was looking for in my thing, he had it. And I was like, yes. I was like, oh my goodness. Yes. I'm like, because, don't give up. All right, I know this is, just listen. In life, everyone, just because the thing didn't happen, never give up. It's going to he who endures to the end, the endurance. I could have gave up after 3 hours of search, literally about 2.5 hours of searching. I'm exhausted. I'm like, man, forget it. And my spirit's like, don't give up. And right when I did it, I literally went on there and the same picture I was looking for was given to me. But if I would have gave up, it wouldn't have been there. So never give up. Okay? Never give up, guys. Just keep, even if you take a break or a pause, continue. Endure. That's how you accomplish things in life. Endurance. All right? Consistency. All right. So now enough with that's not corny, but let's get with the story. Present, share screen, window, bang, share. Let me see what y'all see. Oh, I can make this smaller so I can see what y'all see. There you go. That's nice and big too. All right, hold on. Let me move y'all over here so I can interact with y'all while I interact with there we go, with the thumbnail too. So this, and don't let me forget, guys, once I start telling the story, to make this small and make me big. I messed that up on the Big Bump story. When I told Big Bump part, they were big on the screen and I was small. All right, don't let me forget, guys. All right, so this right here was the picture that I had saved of that I had saved it because someone else posted it on Facebook, and I was looking for it to make the thumbnail and I couldn't find it. Now this right here is a picture of him. This is like the 80s. If you think I don't, he have a members only jacket on. He got a Kangol on his head. We look crazy. Anybody in the 80s, we look crazy, just so y'all know. All right. So it is what it is. Now, this picture right here is the Hempstead Heights. This is part of people that's from the Heights, right? In the middle, that's Gene right there with his football jersey on, Hempstead Tigers. He a football legend, star. All right, that'll come out tonight. Now, our mascot for our school is Hempstead Tigers, and we like Division I. Like all them boys could go pro, but the hood swallows us up in our hood. I come from a real ghetto. It's a real ghetto where the hood, mostly none of them make it out. Right? We go to prison. You hear me? We go to prison, and those who make it through, blessed is you. All right. So now that's Gene in the middle. All right. Now, this shout out to K-Born. All right, K-Born, if I get a chance, I will do that. So because the only problem, K-Born, I'll have to what's the name? It's Sniper, so I could bring it into the thing. But if I can, I will. All right. So now the brother K-Born is tuning in. I'm actually messaged him because I got this image from his channel, and he said on his channel that was his best friend from the Heights. I don't remember K-Born. I don't know if he remember me. I probably do. If I seen him, I probably would. But sometimes my memory is spotty. But he was Gene's best friend, and I seen on his channel he was like, he missed his best friend, and Gene been gone for a long time. K-Born, what you could help me out with is you can help me out and let y'all guys let me know, how did Gene pass? I found out he died. I don't know how he died. All right. And I found out from your channel, K-Born, that he died, I think it said on Halloween in 1993. That's when I was still in jail. I was in jail in 1993. And if y'all can, somebody could tell me how my brother Gene died. But that's Gene in the middle. All right. Now, let me point out some of those in this picture that I can remember who they are. That right here is Anthony Alfred. R.I.P. to Anthony Alfred. All right. And these are this is young. They look we look funny. He got a members only jacket on. Y'all better know what that is. All right, that's A. That's A. Now these the Heights boys. I don't remember who he is, but I remember his face. Right? Someone, if y'all remember from New York, y'all can write it. I'll write it. If y'all write it in the chat over on Facebook, I'll say who it is. So those at home, especially from the Heights, if you know who some of them are, y'all write it. I'll say who it is. All right. Now I remember his face though. Him. Now scrolling up, this I'm gonna point out who I know first of all. Look at young Gator. This Gator right there. Look at G. That's Gator right there looking young. That's Anthony's little brother. Shout out to John Alfred. Shout out to Greg, George Alfred, my boy G. Shout out to, sorry if I mixed your name up, G. That's my boy. Anthony, G, the bigger brother, John Alfred, Gator. Shout out to the Alfred family. So that's G Wop, Gator. Shout out to Gator. Look at Gator, look at all young. Now this one right here trips me out. That's Fats. Oh, yo, Bakim's picture. With any little young pictures of Bakim, he looks hilarious. Even when he was fat and little, he always got a smile. Little Fats. That's Bakim right there. This right here, I remember him. This is Roderick. And look at, I laugh when I look at this picture. This is I could tell he trying to be smooth. Look, he got his shirt open with a gold chain. Look like he put a little afro or a jerry curl or something. He could fight though. I remember Rod. He could fight though. I seen Rod fight back then. But look at him. He looking like Orange Juice Jones. I saw you walking in the rain. I can't sing. Looking like Orange Juice Jones or something, right? Look at Rod. He can fight too. I remember I seen Rod fight. And back here, I don't remember who this one is right here. I wish somebody on Facebook could tell me. I don't know who that is. I don't remember who that one is, but that's Big Dap. Look at that when he was skinny. That's Andre Anderson, Big Dapper Don. I got a story I'm gonna tell on Dapper Don. Got a story coming on here. Big Dap. Shout out to Big Dap. Big Dapper Don. All right. Me and Dap was running together for a minute when I had my Fendi Audi. That was my partner. We was one-on-one. Me and Dap had a time we was together. All right. So now let me scroll over here. Now this is hilarious. I don't know who the little man is, but look at him with his with his arm folded, poking out his chest. Boy, we look crazy in the 80s. He got his pants tucked in. Right? You see him trying to swell up his chest, right? You see him trying to swell up his chest. He's doing this. Y'all tell me who this is. I don't remember who this is. It's so blurry. All right? And then back up in here, that's my brother Dickie McFadden. I know Dickie when I see any. Dickie in all the old pictures. Dickie used to be in everybody's picture back in the days. If any old picture, Dickie is in the picture. Like, Dickie was in everybody's picture. Shout out to the Don 88, United Kingdom in the building. Shout out to the UK in the building. All right. So that's Dickie. I don't know who that is back there. And then now I want somebody, if they could, I don't see, could y'all tell me who this one is? I'm saving him for last. Who is this one? Now, this is the epitome of 80s. He look like the Force MD. Oh yeah, Rod does look like the Force MDs right here, right? Who is this one? This is the epitome of the 80s. This is called a nameplate, guys. A big nameplate where you have your name on your plate. Now, just so y'all know, this will get you killed. They taking your sneakers off your feet. Your Kangol, later with Cazelle glasses and all that. So having a nameplate on your neck is the target. It wasn't like later now where people could wear all the stuff y'all could wear. Rolex. Oh, no. In the 80s, you wasn't wearing nothing that you wasn't holding down to be able to, because they coming for it. Like it was very dangerous in them streets. Yeah, we had the name buckle with the nameplates and the nameplate on the chains too. All right. Now, I wish somebody from Facebook could tell me who this one is. All right. Who he is from the Heights. I wish Dickie or somebody was here. They know who it. Dickie, where you at, boy? Tell me who is this one? And look at his mouth all open. Y'all can tell he a problem, right? Y'all can tell he. All right. So all right. So back. This is Gene Grant, right? And Gene is in the middle, right? So another thing when you're taking pictures, you see Gene spot in the middle. Now, this one over here, that's Gene in high school. This is the, if I'm correct, this is the football case in Hempstead High School where all the state championship trophies that we won as a school. Oh, he's no joke. Our hood, any ghetto that's a real ghetto, oh, they good at football and basketball. That's just hood stuff, right? When you come from a real slum ghetto, you got the best football and basketball team because all we know is trauma. All we know is rough. You know, we playing football from when we young. Y'all remember the video on my channel? I think it's the one that says Big Jerry White. The one, I think it's that one where I broke my leg and my hip. Fractured my knee, fractured my hip, fractured my knee, sprained my ankle, all that when they playing football, right? So we start from when we're young. So in Hempstead High School, there's a trophy case of us winning division champion. It's a lot, it's full. So I think this is Gene posing in front of that. And this when he's young, probably only 16, 17. He already looked like he's strong, right? Some people, guys, are just naturally strong. Some people are naturally leaders. Some people are naturally physically advanced, right? Some people are like natural fighters. Some people are naturally, oh, shout out to Big Grease, Henry Street. The Big Grease rep Midway. All right. Shout out to the Goldsmith family and all of them. Shout out to Kenny and all of them. Big Grease. So now, some people are just naturally fast. You know those, and that's what Gene was. Gene was, he was dark skinned. He always had that smile though. There's a problem when that smile go away though. Just yeah, just listen to me and believe what I'm telling you. As long as the smile is on, and with Gene, it was funny. With Gene, because he had that smile naturally even when he talked. But with Gene, you can't just look at you just can't look at the smile and judge from it. This is from my experience of knowing Gene. You just can't look at the smile because even though it'll look like a smile, he could be plotting. And Gene was dangerous, bro. Gene was no joke. I'm about to go there. I'm walking it down right now. So now, yes, Larry, yeah, that's very dangerous. Even when they got that smile, you got to know to look past it because you better see what's behind it. I've seen that. I knew that with Gene. I seen that. He's very, very dangerous. Meaning he wasn't a bad person. He was a good person, but he was a very powerful being on this earth. Sometime on the earth, there's a lot of power put into certain people. Like they'll be really strong. Like he the type that won't lift weights, but will come in the gym and just put everything on and just bench it and get up and walk out. That don't gotta lift weights, that don't gotta run. But if you race them, they so fast that they breaking like Olympic records. Like it's just natural. They're just naturally powerful. A lot of them, this is what I noticed, a lot of them die early. Almost all of the stories that I tell on this channel about these individuals in my life, almost 99% of them died early. It's something with that. I noticed that when I was young. It's like it's too much power in an individual, and somehow the darkness gets a way to stomp out their light, lest they become righteous and will become like a warrior for good. That's what I ascertained from it. Gene had this power, fast, strong. I mean, could fight his butt off, just like a Powerball machine wrapped up in this little chocolate package. All right? Now, shout out to Saquon in the building. Saquon, I'm doing Gene tonight. Now, let me do the brother. Oh man, I closed it. The brother Aubrey, I'm going to open it. So all I got to do, all right, go to my Facebook. The brother Aubrey Muhammad, he wrote a comment under my post on Facebook that I was doing Gene's story tonight. So let me go to my Facebook. I'm sorry, I closed it, guys. It'll come up quick. And I know where to find it. It's right in my post. So the brother Aubrey, let me all right, so how do I go to my, sorry guys, go to my profile. Shout out to Raheem Ray for your rhyme talking about your hood tonight, the heights. So talking about Gene Grant tonight, Ra. All right, so there go my post, right? Oh, it says I'm live. That's the live. 10 comments, that must be it. Okay. No, that's not it. There go the post. All right. And there go Aubrey's thing. So let me go view more comments. View more comments. There we go. So Aubrey Muhammad, shout out to Aubrey. Aubrey went to school. I think Aubrey is a year older than me. Aubrey light skin. Shout out to the light skin brothers out there. Aubrey, it's so funny because Aubrey was bad. He wrote something, he was bad. Aubrey started doing, he used to steal, and Aubrey was one that started going to jail really early. I mean, when we was really young, Aubrey was always into something. You was definitely bad, Aubrey. And Aubrey was constantly going to jail. But then later, he found the Nation of Islam. And now his name is Aubrey Muhammad. And he's still to this day, I guess, serving. Shout out to the Muslim brother, Aubrey Muhammad. All right? Shout out to Aubrey. So Aubrey wrote under my chat, he said, Brother Gene was a good brother. He said, we knew each other on Crown Heights and Hempstead the Heights, and we went to middle school together. Hempstead Middle School back then was the worst school. And I got a story coming about Hempstead Middle School. Oh my goodness. Especially back then. All right? Back in the 80s. Now, he said, we went to Hempstead Middle School together where Gene Grant, excelled in sports. Aubrey said, I was wild in the streets in the 1980s and I was in and out of jail. And while I was at Elmira Prison, in New York State Prison, Elmira, I was on B block and Gene Grant was on one of the longer term blocks. He said, that was the time when I decided to turn my life around and to dedicate my life to the liberation of the Black people, of our people. He said, when we were released from prison, Gene was so proud of me for keeping this spirit that I had of liberating my people. He said, I was promoting power products that Minister Farrakhan produced, and I was wearing the marketing button that they sent me in the package that I got. He said, and this is the last time that I saw my brother Gene Grant alive. He said, me and Danielle Peoples were dating when she told me that Gene had passed away, and we took it very hard. He is indeed a Hempstead Crown Heights legend. Long live his spirit, the spirit of brother Gene Grant. All right, thank you, brother Aubrey, for that testimony of my brother Gene. I didn't know Gene went to prison. I didn't even know that. Now let me come back to y'all. All right. So now, and yeah, and listen, Larry, y'all, they talking Elmira in like the 80s. Whoa. Guys, New York State prison in the 80s? Prison period. California state prisons like San Quentin and all that, Elmira, Attica, Clinton, Maine, in the 80s? Oh my goodness, bro. That was hell on earth. All right. Now, I'm walking this down. I'm doing good. I did the apology to Davo. I did Aubrey's testimony. All right, let's get started. So now, I knew, and okay, now, there we go. Let me switch. I remember. Let me switch my position with the thumbnail so we can get started. 50 minutes in, not too bad. present, no, not present. Which one? Make this drop down. There we go. There we go. Now we cooking with olive oil. All right. Pardon me. Now make this smaller. All right. So now I'm gonna leave my brother Gene in the Crown, some of the Crown Heights posse on the on the thing. They kill me with this picture. Let's look at them one more time. They look great. The 80s is a crazy look. Yeah, I'm gonna leave the thumbnail on the screen. I'll share the thumbnail with me, Del. I'll just make it small. All right. Oh, she was writing to let me know it was still big. All right. All right. So now, let's get started. What most people from Hempstead didn't know is my relationship with Gene went back from when I was a little boy. So when I was a little boy, my big sister, Arlene, she dated Gene. Gene would come to the projects to see my sister. And I was a little boy. They were young. I think they were in like middle school or something like that. And I was really young. I was a little boy. But I was always about that life. And I knew Gene from when I was a little boy. And because of it, what a lot don't know was he always looked out for me. He always, during my upbringing, would check in on me wherever he see me and look out for me. And a lot of people didn't know I had that relationship with Gene. And so when I was a little boy, he dated my sister, then they broke up. And then by the time I started rapping, the Nasty Four, we would do basement party. We would perform on the Heights, and we used to have block parties in New York City too. So back in the 70s, guys, in New York City, beginning of hip hop, we had block parties where they would put, they would block off the cars. They would put barricades on a block, a long block, and block off the cars. They have to get permission from whatever. And even if they didn't get permission, to the police come, and the DJs would come and put the music outside. And it'll be a block party and everybody dancing in the streets. And this is the beginning of hip hop. So crews would come from Queens, like the Disco Twins and Infinity Machine, and from Brooklyn and stuff and all that, and battle in the block parties. And Strong Island and Queens, they would go to Staten Island. That's where Wu-Tang tells their story. This is the beginning of hip hop that most of y'all don't know. Before it got to the rest of the world, when it was in-house, when it was just ours. Before the serpent seed, these Nephilim, children of the darkness seed who own these record labels took it over and got it now a form of devil worship. It was ours, the creation of the children of the book that was in slavery and captivity in these projects and ghettos. We created an art form out of the poverty, and it was ours. That's why I never let nobody take claim, because I was there from the beginning. We was there from the root of it. You hear me? So no, they try to steal it now and take it. You're wrong. If you wasn't from the first generation of the babies, I'm a firstborn baby of hip hop before it was on rap records. Before the search thing, it's first the thing as a ever rap record, ever. It was on tapes and live shows. It was in the streets. Street lights. Shout out to Bakim. Shout out to Bach. Shout out to Big. Yo, Ba, I just talked about you in that picture. Every time I got, Ba, I got a story coming with you too. Because, me and you, that was my partner. I got, when I go back, I got a story coming with you, Ba. But I'm going to make sure I keep it, like I say on this channel, I'm very cognizant not to talk about any things that we committed, because I don't know what people are still doing. So, shout out to Rose Ave on the Heights, right? So I'll make sure when I tell it, this ain't, what I call that, this ain't Vlad TV, where we telling stuff, some certain stuff people don't want to get known, but I'll make sure when I tell our story, I'll keep it. But yeah, I got a lot of stories with me and Bob. That was my partner. All right. Now, at one time. Now, so now, there was, Rose Ave used to have block parties too, everywhere. Block parties on the hills, block parties on the heights, block parties. Now, So trying to figure out his YouTube out, LOL. Oh, somebody said, Bakim said salute. He trying to figure his YouTube out. All right. So now, shout out to Klepto Guns in the building. So now, shout out to everybody coming over on YouTube. So now, so by the time I started rapping, right? Now remember, I knew Gene from when I was a little boy. He was coming in my house, dating my sister in the project. So he knew me in the house when I used to be getting in trouble with my grandmother and stuff, right? Because we used to get beatings back in the days. For those who didn't know, we used to get beatings, okay? All right, so we used to get beat with race car tracks, AFX car tracks, those jump ropes. The worst beatings with they used to have our sisters used to have this rubber jump rope that it was rubber and it was, oh my goodness. The beatings with those is the worst beatings you could have. It leave webs. We get beat with belts, mess around, they hit you with the belt buckle. They just hitting, boy. Beatings was, and the worst one of them all, this is reminiscing, is when they tell you, shout out to, yeah, and I got more stories. I'm gonna come out with the 98 with the car. The worst one of them all, when they tell you to go out there and grab a branch off that tree. Go get a switch off the tree, and you better not bring a little one either. You better not bring a little one. And you go get it, and then what they do, guys, they take the branch off the tree, right? And then they skin the outside layer off. And it's a green, it's like the fruit of the branch. They skin the outside wood part off, and it's green, and it's like kind of wet from the sap or something. It's alive. Oh my goodness, when they beat you with that, you be bouncing around. No. Boy, we used to get beat to the spare the rod, spoil the child. That's what's wrong now. I ain't saying to abuse no children. Again, I'm not trying to trigger nobody who got abused. Some of us got to the level of abuse, right? And some of us went overboard. I'm talking about the balanced of the scriptures say spare the rod, spoil the child. So don't nobody get triggered, because if you got abused, I empathize with your abuse, and I'm sorry that you had to endure that. All right. So yeah, if you go get a small tiny branch of Syrah, you're gonna get yeah, my grandma definitely used to tear me up. You're gonna get whooped out. It's bad. So anyway, let me get back to the story. So Gene used to be in my he used to be in my house when I was a little boy, getting in trouble with my grandmother and stuff. He used to talk to me. So now, later, after they stopped dating or whatever, I'm a rapper now. I'm a little rapper, and we performing. And I would see Gene on the Heights. And when I would see Gene on the Heights, he was always looking out for me, and he would so because I was a rapper. And we're in the Heights and over there, it was dangerous. Like, it's dangerous being in the wrong hood. And it would always break out in fights. And I was little, right? And so he would always, like, if he see me, he would come over and he was to call me Lil J, right? So my little nickname, it was J, right? Right? JJ and JB, right? So he would call me that, right? Because he knew me from when I was a little boy. So he used to always say, Lil J. So he's like, Lil J, you all right? So I'm like, yeah, he's like, come here. Because, he'd be with his Crown Heights crew. They coming up and up the street. Be like, once he see me, he'd be like, Lil J, come here. And I come over, you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Let me know if you get any problems. Let me know if you have any, because he know I'm on the wrong side of town. So he would always look out for me, right? Always, and once I was little. So no matter where he would see me, he would always see me and call me and say, are you all right? Are you all right? Right? So now, shout out to Dickie in the building. Yo, Dickie, who this? I was waiting for you to get here. Yo, Dickie, who this right here with the Kango? Who that? Because that's you behind him, Dickie. Who that, Dick? What's his name? I was trying to figure out who that, and then who the little one is with his arms crossed too. Who that? Who that with his arm crossed? If you remember, write it, Dickie, so I can say who they are. All right, let me make it bigger so you can see. Shout out to my big brother Kevin McCullough from Roosevelt, Strong Island. The little one is Woody Wood? That is not Wood. That's Fat Dad? Oh my goodness. What is Fat? That makes sense that that's Fat Dad, Dickie. I got a story with Fat Dad. And that's Woody. Woody was skinny. Look at what, and that makes sense that it's Wood trying to look like that, trying to puff up his chest. That's Fat Dad. What was Fat Dad doing at the Heights? Fat Dad used to be everywhere. I got a story with Fat Dad too. I lost my virginity. When I lost my virginity, Fat Dad was there. I lost my virginity on this girl, and Fat Dad was trying to smash her, but she wouldn't give it to Fat Dad. I'm gonna tell that story. And Fat Dad was a mess. Fat Dad guys became Fat Dad became the drummer for Public Enemy when Public Enemy first got released. I got a story with Fat Dad at the Apollo Theater and everything. That is hilarious. Yeah, Fat Dad used to be everywhere. I was like, what is Fat Dad doing on the Heights? Because he's everywhere. And now it makes sense. It looked like him too, with his mouth all open and his hat on and his chain. That makes all the sense in the world. Yeah, I already talked about you, Bakim, before you got here. That's him right there, Fats right there. And I talked about Rod looking like Orange Juice Jones. I talk about Rod looking like a Orange Juice Jones. Yo, Fat Dad was one of the best drummers in the world. Facts. So let me see. Shout out to Mark Fisher. Shout out to Mark. Let me see. Who this? Eat Dog. Shout out to Eat Dog. He said, oh my God, my mom's used everything to drive home a teacher. Shout out to Eat Dog. Yo, who this? Yo, Dickie, who this? I remember his face. I can't remember his name. What's his name too? Seville. Yeah, that's what's his name. I forgot his nickname, Seville. Right. He looked like the smooth. He got his chest open with the Jazz. Yeah, I remember him too. Okay, that's his name. Seville. Remember? Oh my goodness. I always said, now who this, guys? Who this behind Bakim and Gator? Who this right here? With this? Yeah, who that? Behind, I know who Dap is. I already pointed out Big Dap up there in the air. But who that? Look at Dap. Look at Dap when he was skinny. But who is that right there? You said that's Buster? Okay. That's Buster behind Gator and Bakim. And one more, I forgot this one. Who this with the remember these, we used to have these sweatshirts and you put the letters on, you go to Jamaica Avenue and the Chinese letters. He got Lee. I don't remember who that is. But anyway, thank y'all, because y'all helped me out. I really wanted to know who Fat Dad was, and I wanted to know who this little one was too. And they said that's Woody Wood. And who that back there? I know that's not John Alfred, but who that behind Fat Dad and Dickie? All right. But anyway, well, thank y'all, guys. I wanted to Funk. All right. Oh, Funk? Tim Funk. Which one is Tim? Where Tim Funk? Man, boy, these names. And Rogers. Boy, I went to school with this. Boy, y'all bring back memories. Oh my God, I remember Tim Funk. Everybody, boy. All right, so let me get started. Somebody said Rob Moore. No way. Who Rob Moore? Rob Moore, the football from the, I don't know, with the Kango. With the Lee shirt on? With that? That's interesting. All right, so anyway, let me get with this. Bakim said Roger Moore. All right, let me get started with the story. Well, thank y'all guys for me pointing out some of them who was in this picture. No, but the football Rob. That's what I thought. Lee's shirt is Funk, is what I think they were saying, and the Lee shirt was Funk. Oh, okay, that would make sense. Funk used to think he was so slick too. Remember, where is Tim Funk still? He said, not that Rob Moore. That's what I thought. I thought that Rob Moore wouldn't have been on the Heights. He said the Rob that lived on Amherst. All right, okay, that makes sense. Y'all remember Tim used to swear he was smooth. I said, man, Tim Funk used to swear he was smooth. All right, let me go, guys. Let me go with the story. Shout out to Crown Heights. We got more. So I'm gonna be letting y'all know, like, when I do more of the stories. Cause I'm doing H, I'm doing Steve Lawrence, I'm doing everybody who had, I'm doing Tank, I'm doing like Treetop, all right? So, oh, it said a couple of houses down from Monroe Holly. All right, shout out to the Hollies. All right, let me get started. All right, yeah, Saquon, Funk was definitely your bro. Your bro. Funk used to swear he was just as smooth as all outdoors. All right, so now so Gene used to always look out for me, right, guys? Always, right? Yes, Treetop. You know I'm doing Tree by Kim. Of course I gotta do Tree. Shout out to Tawana and them. Shout out to the Greers. All right, you know I gotta do Tree. So now we so Gene used to always look out for me, right? When I was little. So he used to always check on me. So in the basement parties, it used to get crazy because we used to be battling. And for the mic, now I'm little, right? Now for the mic, the microphone was dangerous at the beginning of hip hop. It was like, it's like, okay, so the beginning of hip hop, things was no joke, meaning you couldn't just be DJing. Shout out to Dickie was a DJ. You couldn't have your equipment. They'll come take all your equipment. Understand, you getting your speakers took in your, like, you got to hold that down. And the microphone, you ain't getting on that microphone. You get beat up. It's called a beat down. You get beat down being on the mic. You got to be like official. It was, hip hop was a different beast at the beginning of it. It wasn't like just anybody, yeah, DJ Ant and all. Yeah, it wasn't just, so you had to be official because you battling somebody else. And if you lose about, or if you weak, you getting all your equipment taken. Right, Dickie? You getting everything taken. And you're going to lose the battle. And you probably get beat up. And you probably get ran home. All that. So you got to be holding it down. And getting that microphone was dangerous. I mean, dangerous. To the point, yes, the Chill Most crew from the Heights was dangerous to the point where it's like, because they were battling stuff and you'll get beat up, like badly too. It's no joke. So to get the mic, shout out to Victorious Ron in the building, to get the microphone, you had to be official. Like if nobody knew who you was, they would be like, who that? Okay, so you know how you get the microphone and you be like 1, 2, and they hear a voice and nobody know who that voice is. Yo, you was not making it out of that party. Literally, you'll be, it's really dangerous. So the most powerful, yeah, I'm telling the story, rapper Sex, rapper O, rapper PJ. Oh yeah, when I go back, Bakim, I'm going back. Yeah, I'm going back. Don't even worry about it. I'm going back to the beginning of hip hop. I'm going to let these people know how hip hop started. All through the Bronx, all through Brooklyn, all through Queens, all through Strong Island and Staten Island. Hip hop started. Where you think Rakim and them come from Strong Island and stuff, all right? So now, to get the microphone was very dangerous to the point where everybody ain't want the mic, because if you get the mic, it's like the spotlight is on you and you'll get beat up. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just literally, shout out to his Gene Grants. And it's funny, I wanted to reach out to his children, skeeting them and let them know during the dedication to their dad. So I guess it says Chartres Grant. I guess this is my brother Gene's child. Said RIP to their dad. Salute. Your dad, you're gonna learn something about your dad you didn't know tonight. Your dad was a legend. Your dad is still a legend. Facts. Strong Island legend. Now, to get the microphone was like a death sentence. Oh, Skeet said he here. All right, shout out to Skeet. Shout out to young Skeet. That's Gene's. Follow right out, boy. I remember when Saquon back in the day, Skeet, when he showed me, because remember, I'm your elder. I don't know if you remember me, but I know you remember my little son, little Rashawn. Because I remember that time I came up there with the red car, my story on the channel, what the Black Viking, when the little thugs was ready to kill Lil Ra, and I had to take him on the heights and say, no, like, this is my son, and Lil Ra, because he's repping Parkside, and that's when their generation, Skeeting them and Parkside was warring one another. They was at war, all right? And Skeet, and that's when I learned that you was Gene's son. And we the type, our generation over you, Skeeting them, we the type that we respected our elders so much, who that like if you Gene's son, you automatically got my love and respect. So I remember looking, I'm like, Dad, he looked like Gene. And they were saying, I remember they said, Quan, like, that boy fight. That boy could fight. Like, I said, he just got Gene's energy. I said, it would make sense. He following at his daddy's footsteps. So salute to you too, Skeet. And she says, Shatra says she's one of his daughters. All right. So now, it's a dedication to my brother Gene. R.I.P. my brother Gene. And can someone still tell me, yo, Dickie, how did he die? If it's something that y'all don't want out, I won't say it. If it's something that y'all want private. But I never knew how I just heard that Gene died. I never knew how. But if it's something that should be kept private, then I won't say it. You know, this channel is all about respect. All right. And I'll just keep it to me. At least I'll know how my brother passed. All right. So to get the microphone, guys, this is the Hempstead. This is New York City. Remember, this ain't just Hempstead. If you lived in Queens, South Side, whatever, Cambria Heights, Queens Bridge, if you lived in Brooklyn, the Bronx, wherever hip hop was in the park, it was in basement houses and basement parties. It was in the convention centers. It was in community centers, the park houses. It was in the streets, block parties, but it was no joke. You ain't getting no mic. On this channel, I told a story about 40 projects, Southside Jamaica, Queens, when we went to NYC 4 and we got on the microphone at the 40 projects, and me and Unique got the mic, and they wanted to try to kill us in the park, but we was microphone fiends. That's where Rakim got that from. The microphone fiends. We getting the mic no matter where we go. And it's because it started from when I was a little kid. He got shot in the village protecting his nephew on Halloween. And I knew, thank you, Dickie. I seen from Brother Michi's channel, I seen that it was on Halloween that he, shout out to Larry Bell. Oh, I'm doing your brother, Larry. I'm doing Googs too. You know I got to do Googs, especially in the middle school. Larry, I got a story about Googs when you was little. All right, so anyway, I seen from Michi channel that it was on Halloween, and I just didn't know how my brother died. So he got shot. And the village is what we call downtown Hempstead. It's where the shopping centers and stuff, Main Street, protecting his nephew on Halloween. Who shot him, guys? I'll keep that. Y'all write it. I'll keep on Facebook. I'm quite sure they went to jail or something. We ain't doing no unsolved crimes in here. If it's because we ain't about locking, but I want to know, because who shot Gene, bro? Oh my goodness. The most powerful ones always died young, man. The ones that have so much power in them always died young, man. They always. Yeah, that day was disgusting. It hurt me too when I heard Gene gone, man. All right. So now Larry Bell said that was a sad day. I can imagine. I know the Heights was in mourning. And for those of us who knew him on the hills and everywhere else, I know it was sad everywhere, bro. I know it had to be some serious heartbreak going on in the streets on Crown Heights. All right. So the microphone, guys, was so dangerous to get on, right? Because and you're not getting it. They'll snatch it, they'll take the mic from you and stuff. So because I was so good as a little kid, and Unique had a lot of heart. Daddy Unique used to get into fight. He used to carry a hatchet. Shout out to Daddy Unique had a lot of heart, guys. I know y'all might see Daddy now, he an elder, and Daddy kind of crazy all out there, but Daddy was no joke when he was young. Daddy took me, we went everywhere, and he had a lot of heart. Facts. And so we used to get that mic. No matter what, we get in the microphone. It said the person who shot him killed himself. Finesse was his name. I think I remember Finesse. Okay. Dickie said this dude from Queens, some random mess, Gene was whooping his butt and he got him with a 22, and we just left him like 15 minutes before that happened. The person who shot himself killed himself. Finesse was his name. All right. So R.I.P. to both of them. All right. Yeah, my brother Gene, man. Sorry, guys. That's just R.I.P. to my brother. All right, guys. So Yes, guys. So Unique would get that mic no matter what. And you'll be risking getting really hurt your life too from getting the mic. And so Unique would make sure I get the mic. And I was little, meaning I'm like 8, 9, 10 years old. So when I get the mic, guys, it'd be like, yes, 1, 2, 1, 2, like a little kid's voice. Yes, yes, y'all. And then the beat, y'all. They call me MCJ. You're now on the mic, you know? Right? That's the beginning of hip hop, right? And you in the sweaty basement party, and people be all sitting all on the speakers, and everybody would crowd around the mic, right? It would be hot, and it'd be like a whole crowd, like you can't even get to the mic. So by the time I get the mic, they would pull me through people's legs, right? I'm not little, pull me through their legs, and I give them the mic. Now at first it was hard, but after I got my name, my reputation, they would say, yeah, give them the mic. Give little Jay the mic. And I would get the mic and I would be like, yeah, Sean. And Dickie, this before we started the Nasty Four. So Dickie, I'm even going further back now. This before the Nasty Four MCs. This was when that little rapper, it was a rapper on the Heights. He was dark skinned, he was short. I forgot his name, MC something. And he used to say, at the age of 1, my life begun. And at the age of 2, I was the booger. I forgot his name. I wish I could remember his name. He was a trip, right? So by the time my name and my reputation, they would give me the mic. Yeah, Dickie, this before the Nasty Four. They would give me the mic. This was rapper Sex, the Come Alive 5, rapper PJ, rapper O. This was those Playboy crew, Play Hard crew from Freeport's beginning of hip hop, right? So now, was it MC Markey? I think so, Bell. The little short, he used to fight too. He used to get drunk. He used to fight, but he used to always have a mic. And at the age of 1, my life begun. And that was his famous rap. He used to always do that. All right, I forgot his name though. So, and remember ILD? And I was part of ILD from the what's the name? All right, so anyway, he said that was MC Markey that was down with Dimensional Sound. That's fine. Remember Dimensional Sound? Boy, y'all going back. Y'all memory is no joke. All right, guys, this is the beginning of hip hop. So now, at this point of this story I'm telling right now, my name is already, I can get the mic when I go to the basement party. Like they're like, give them the mic. That type of thing. So I got the, you know what I mean? So they'd give me the mic because I used to say rhyme. Now what I was doing was but when I first started, I learned the rhymes in the back of the record, Funky Four. I learned Keith rhyme, right? And I used to say, they ain't know where it came from. But and then later we started writing our own, right? But that's how I got my reputation. I would say it was a lime green with a light green tone. Before I damn, let me say today, I brought the phone with it above the fade. As a little, I said, before I go, let me say it today. I brought the phone with it above the way. And they was like, hey, I was like, yo, they didn't know I got it from so the records, the hip hop records, the rap records back in the days used to be like 15 minutes long. So I went to hour like 8, not 10 minutes in the record and got Keith round when he talked about the green OJ at the end of Funky 4 plus one more. It's a red record on Enjoy record label. It's red. Funky 4 plus one more. And if you go to the end of it, Keith got a rhyme at the end. I'm Keith, I'm in. And I've mastered it. And I went to the party. So soon as the record came out, we went to the record store on Main Street and got it. And I've learned the whole thing and went to that basement party that night and just started spitting it. And that's how I got my reputation. It was like, cause nobody knew, like, what? And I killed it. And that rhyme was like 10 minutes. So anyway, and then after that, that's how I became an MC. And after that, later we became Nasty Four and all that. So now this is the beginning of hip hop. So now I'm at this point where I'm getting a microphone in the basement party. Now remember, Gene used to always look out for me because they will always fight. So every basement party ended with a fight. It always ends with the yeah, that's the joint. That's the song, Saquon. It's the song That's the Joint from Funky 4 plus one more. That's that album. Now, every basement jam, it don't end. It almost never does it end where they say, okay, everybody, the last song, turn on the lights and go home. Sometimes that would happen later, but most of the time it ends with a fight going on, and then chaos, and they turn on the lights, and then people trying to don't knock over the equipment and all that. So at this point, I can get the mic, right? So I'm normal getting the mic. So Gene used to always check up on me whenever he was. Okay, another thing, we would walk. This before cars and stuff. We was walking, so we would walk from Parkside. It was called Campbell Park. This before we named my hood Parkside, because my generation, the Stay Up Posse, we named it Parkside from my projects. So for those the young people and everybody who grew up, we named it Parkside. We as a crew. Y'all gonna learn that in another story. The Stay Up Posse from the Campbell Park. It used to be called the Hills and Campbell Park and Martin Luther King Drive, right? That was that area. That's what it was called. So now we would walk from the Hills to the Heights. And that was another dangerous thing, because now you got to walk back at the end of the party too. It's a long walk too. It's like a 40-minute or whatever. It's a long walk, right? So by the time we walk to wherever the basement party is, whether street it's on, Stewart or Dartmouth, California, Rhodes, whatever block it's on, the thing is on, we would have to walk. Dickie, I'm glad you just wrote that, because this is where we going tonight. Oh, the boys from Brazil, remember that? All right. So, and once you come up the street, so let's say if the block party is on this street, by the time you get to the street, it's people walking because they come in and throwing, people who got getting high, and it's the 70s and the early 80s. It's dangerous stuff going on. The streets was dangerous. It was no joke, right? You get yourself hurt. So we walk up, and whenever Gene would see me, he would always call me. Like, now we be our crew, he would call me out of the crew. Yo, little JJ, you over there, Jay? I'm like, yeah, that's you, come here. And I would come over. He'd be like, you all right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right. So, yo, let me know somebody give you a problem in there. Let me know. I'm like, all right, I got you. All right. And then he would go on, right? Now, Dickie said, Slick Hard crew, I'm going to do a thing on Slick Hard, did a party one time on Harvard Street on the Heights at Gene's crib. Okay. And Gene made them leave their equipment and walk home. This is going to tie in. What you just wrote, Dickie, is going to tie in, because this the funny part. I was going to ask this tonight. Now, I'm not going to tell this story tonight to offend anybody. I'm just telling what happened, and a lot of people was there and saw this. Now, if you're scared to say it, whatever. I ain't scared of nobody. All right? I was going to ask tonight, Dickie, why? Because something happened that I'm going to tell this story. And I didn't know, why didn't Gene like them? That was my question. I was like, why is he mad at them? Like, why he don't like them? Because he really didn't like them, Dickie. Now remember, that's my crew from Parkside, well, from Campbell Park, right? I'm from the Hills. It was Campbell Park, right? Slick Hard and the projects, right? So that's my crew, right? And you know, I was Nasty Four, so I was a little under them, so I was like baby Slick Hard, right? But Gene did not like them. And I never knew why, and you are helping me out right now, because I was going to ask that when I tell this story. And again, I'm not saying it to offend nobody. I'm just telling what happened. This is just what happened. Now, all right, I got you, K-Born. I'll check it. He said he got another flick of Crown Heights. So now, the story that I'm about to tell, Dickie, you just helped me, because I didn't understand why he didn't like them so much. All my life, I used to try to figure out, what did they do to make Gene so mad? I'm like, what did he have against them? Shout out to Ty Jackson over on Facebook, right? So you just helping me out. So Dickie, if you know, yo, Slick Hard was definitely the crew. We was no joke. If you, and yes, cause Slick Hard, and then that's why they put the Nasty Four with Slick Hard. Then it was that was it. Then now they got the rap group. All right. So Dickie, what happened? Was it a battle? And G and whatever crew on the Heights lost, and G was like, "Listen, y'all leaving y'all." I think I was there. Yo, Dickie, I think I was there. I think I remember that. I think I remember that because it was a mess outside and all that. I think I remember that party. All right. So anyway, if you can let me know why. Let me check the Facebook. Let me see if I can see what, because Brother K. Vaughn said Michi said he put another picture. So I gotta type his name in. Oh, there we go. Oh, I got that picture. So I'm saving that for when I do Tank Story, Meech. I got that picture when I do Treetop. So when I do Treetop picture, that's when I'm using that picture for Tree. Yeah, I got that picture. Because I got more coming. I got more stories coming. I'm doing everybody who affected my life. H, Steve, Lawrence, and I don't want to tell others. I'm doing everybody who had an effect on my life. Tonight is just Gene. All right? So now, hold on, let me get back. So, all right, so now let me tell the story. So how can I put, so now I gave y'all the foundation, how Gene always looked out for me and he always checked up on me. So fast forward now a little bit. I was little JJ, little JV rhyming, right, in the hood. And now later we become Nasty Four. And once we became the Nasty Four, we were like Hempstead's premier, like we were the Nasty Four. So it's kind of like not famous, but it's a level of notoriety, like fame in a way, early, this before. So everybody knows us. So with that, and then I became, and Gene was Gene. Gene was Gene. I don't know how, I don't know his upbringing because he was younger than me, but he set his reputation early. Gene was known as a fighter. He was a good dude though. Gene was a good dude. As long as you doing what's good, right? You good. Now, of course, we all got bad sides to us, right? But I'm just saying from my point, what I seen, as long as you cool, as long as you doing what's good, Gene was, he the type that would protect you. He the type that would fight for you too. He the type that's going to fight bullies. He was the type that, like, he's definitely fearless. Just a machine of power. Just literally. That boy played football. That boy run like a doggone leopard. That boy run so fast. So another time I got a little older and I was trying out for the freshman football team. But because I was born in November, I was always younger than my class. And that's horrible. So I'm smaller than them. And so I'm supposed to be still in 8th grade where I'll be killing the middle school, but now I'm up in high school and everybody's older than me. So I'm trying out. And then the coach, that's my story with Jerry White. I don't know why Jerry didn't really like me. So he was cutting me from the team with my boys, right? And I had the heart, but I was just a little smaller. And I was hurting. And I remember I was on the field. This is Hempstead High School in the backyard, in the back of the field. And Gene and them was on, we was freshmen, Gene and them was on, I think they was on sophomore JV, or they might even been varsity. And Gene, their team was crazy. It was Gene, Grant, John Alfred. I mean, their team was nuts. Their team was crazy. And Gene, I remember he was on the field and they was practicing, he was running, and they was, because Gene, I think Gene used to play wide receiver too or something. Because I remember I'm not sure, but he was running, and he was running so fast. His sister said, you should see his grandson play for. I know it's in their bloodline. Your dad was a beast mode, bro. Your dad was beast. He was running so fast. Guys, okay, you know how when you run in a pattern in football, you run and then you run and it go long and then the quarterback throw the ball. Gene was so fast that he outrun the football where he got to slow up and come back to catch the football, that type of thing. So I remember he did it and he caught the football and then he ran and he saw me out the side of his eye and he came over and he saw me. He's like, yo, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nothing, man. No. He said, nah. What's wrong with you? I was like, man, I think they're going to cut me from the team and all these my boys. I'm like, man, this coach don't like me, man. He's picking on me. he's like, who? I said, man, Coach Jerry, man, I don't know why he don't like me. He said, man, forget him. Forget him. He's like, yo, whatever, man. Just keep practicing, keep trying. Forget him. Whoever don't like you, forget. Kind of saying something like, forget your haters. You know who you are. Just keep doing, you know what I mean? Keep working hard. And he was like, man, he said, lift your spirits, kind of like wipe the face. I wasn't crying, but he was like, man, get up. And I was like, he said, man, you got this. You know who you is. I was like, he said, I want to see you with pouting no more. I'm like, all right, I got it. And then he went back to practice. And that's why I said I'm saying things that the reason why I do these testimonies is certain things that affect me in my life. And people, that's why I'm telling you. So I ain't just telling stories just to be glorified. I'm telling stories that people had an effect in my life. You understand? And he always looked out for me. He kept me in his, he cared. And I never knew why. All right? So now, Dickie said, that night, Drill Harvey, though he can test, thought he could, Deuce tried to test Gene. Deuce must have lost his mind. Drill Harvey is Deuce. Y'all learn who that is later in other stories. Deuce thought he could test Gene at night because they crew was because Slick Hard was them dudes, but knowing Gene, it went down. Bill Blast knew it was about to get ugly, but yeah, they left their equipment and ran them on. He ran them off the heights, LOL. Did he give it back later? Because knowing Gene, he'll probably give it back later. Because Gene liked to make a statement too. He said that's a fact because the crew is in. Now that makes sense. And Gene ain't gonna like nobody fronting. He is not having that. Dickie said he gave it back. I receive because I know his. And we see guys, that's what I'm saying. I know his character. Because that's why I said he wasn't a bad person, but he ain't gonna play no games. Like if you front, it's a wrap. Just so you know, if you front, if you do anything, it's on. But at the end of it, that's why I said, did he give it back? Because I know that's G. He is not the type that's going to take it and he'll give it back after he make his point. That's how he was. All right. She said she appreciated it. I don't know too many people that can tell me stories about him. Well, you're getting one tonight, sis. All right. And that makes sense. That's why I said, did he give it back? I know Gene would do something like that. That's him, right? Deuce was tripping. I don't know. Whoever went to front on Gene, they got to be crazy. All right. So now, and I'm sure there's some people older who say, well, I beat him up when he was young, but when he was in his prime, ain't too many of men that could mess with Gene. It's probably gonna be a draw. Ain't too many of men. Some of these men were like supermen, like facts. I seen some of them dudes are like supermen. Gene was one of them. So now here we go. Let me tell this story. I just wanted to get the foundation of Gene. So now let's fast forward. So as my life go on, now I become Nasty 4. I become the guy Rashawn. Next thing you know, I'm the 98 posse. My reputation. I'm Rashawn. I'm the guy Rashawn. So I'm known everywhere. I got to pass so my Heights boys is my boys. The Heights is my heart, right? I was one. I could be on the Heights. I'm in Bradley Park. I'm on the Heights. I'm on Union. I'm on Stewart. And there's my people where everybody can't really be there like that, right? You gotta know somebody or have a pass. Same thing with Parkside. You just can't come on Parkside. You just can't be at the projects or South Franklin. You're gonna get done for. Same thing with Union. Now Terrace Avenue was a little more open air market. You still gotta be official down, but it was like just open. Anybody could be on Terrace. You got people from Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Roosevelt, Freeport, all that, right? But the Heights and Parkside, you just can't just be anybody up on Union and up on Stewart or up on something. Jacob, who this? Like you gonna get done for. Yes, Dickie, I'm the guy restaurant, so I'm everywhere. So the Heights is my boys. Like I go up on the Heights, I see Dickie, I'm seeing Gene, I'm seeing Kim, Gator and them, Googs, like everybody. That's just was me. I'm everywhere, right? So now here we go. Fast forward. Story starts here. I'm not saying this to shame anybody. It's just what happened. And anybody who was there, y'all could tell me maybe if y'all could fill in what was going on. this is at the time where like it's before 92. I know that 1992. I don't remember what car I had. It wasn't the Audi. It was probably yeah. It was the green and white 98. All right, that's what it was. It had to be because this is coming out of the 98 posse. We're getting a little older. But it was when White Castle was popping. And after Slick Card, this is a time where, okay, we Campbell Park, we Parkside. I think we were called Parkside. I'm not sure if we were Parkside at that time. But we Campbell Park. We still Slick Card, but like I said in the other story with Big Bump and Little Bump, just keeping it real, just what it was, Biz. It's like I was a part of them, but I still could feel like some of them, like Biz and them didn't like me, right? But that's my hood. I'm from Campbell Park. It is what it is. You know, you got beef in the hood. It's just hood stuff, right? So there was those who never fronted on me, right? Like I said, like Blase, like Kev Kerr, and there was those who never fronted on me. But there was some of those who I knew if they got an opportunity, they would they go against me. Like when I tell this story of Father K now, shout out to Father K. All right. It wasn't K. Me and K had a fight. Me and Father K. When like I said, I was looking out for Vita Blue. But he was from the Heights. Shout out to him and his brother Rashawn. The Blue. And so me and K had a fight, but the crew, the 98 posse business who was supposed to be on my side, went with K, like they wanted K to beat me up, and that threw me off. I couldn't. So from then on, I never knew. You know how you like. I knew that we cool and crew, but if it ever went down, y'all would side with someone against me. Certain of them in the crew, right? Now, again, I'm just saying stuff. I'm just telling truth to power. I'm sorry. I'm about to tell this story. So even though I'm around them, right? We'll be all in a crew. So we were at White Castle parking lot and everybody got their cars, right? It's about 10, 15 of us, right? And smoking all that. I'm still there. I'm cool. But I still know that, man, I know the ones who don't really rock with me. See what I mean? And it is what it is. I know hood stuff. You know, you got snakes in the hood. I'm used to hood. I'm from the project. I'm used to hood life. And it is what it is. As long as you don't front on me now, we don't front. It is what it is, right? I know how to move among snakes. Just is what it is, right? I don't know why certain ones didn't like me, but it was what it was, right? So we're in the parking lot. Now at this time, this is after that time that they jumped me from the Big Bump story. I'm a little older a little bit and more established where by the time when they jumped me before I was younger. Now I'm more, ain't no jumping now. You know what I mean? Facts. You jump now, you're gonna be jumping a bullet. Now I'm not promoting none of that, but that's what I was living then. All right. So it was I was a little more established, right? So we in White Castle parking lot, I don't know, after something, and the parking lot's crowded crazy, right? So for those who was there, if you was there, you know what I'm talking about. So I don't know if I pulled in late. My memory's spotty, so I'm gonna piece together what I remember. So I don't know if I pulled in late or not, but I can't remember all of it. All I remember was Gene. I remember Gene. I don't know if they were in the parking lot already, and then I pulled up and joined them because we used to be smoking blunts and stuff in the cars and got the music and got a session and girls around. But it was a lot of us. I don't remember too clearly if Biz was there. He might have been. So I don't want to bear false witness. But I know Kev Kerr was there. I know Billy Moore was there. And I think Lenny Moore might have been there too. Shout out to Dorian. I know Dave O from the Shacks was there. and this is before Davo was smoking. It was the whole crew was there. Wes was there. It was, I don't think Blase was there. It was a lot of them. It was about 10 to 15. Everybody was there. The crew, the strong. Shout out to Dre Ross in the building. Shout out to Andre Ross. So now these dudes, these dudes is official, right? These dudes is, and this was my crew, Slick Hard, and, I think we were still just coming out of the Slick Hard. Maybe we were still Slick Hard. Dickie, this was probably the same time. This is hilarious, Dickie, that you wrote about that party, because I don't know if this probably wasn't too far after this, because I never knew why this was happening, what I'm about to tell. So I just know I'm in there with my crew, right? And the ones who are there who for me, I know Kev Kerr and all that. And no disrespect, but Billy Moore, Bill he would front on me if he got the chance. Shout out to my boy Dorian. Love you, Dorian. I'm just keeping it real. Bill, if he's seen it. I don't know if RIP to anybody who's not alive. I'm just telling, this is what happened, my testament. And Lenny would front. Pig never fronted on me. Shout out to RIP to Pig. Pig never fronted on me. Now, Lenny was crazy, Lenny. But sometimes they would side together because Biz, you did. Biz had something against me, and everybody sided with Biz. Biz was like a ringleader. I just couldn't tell it what it was. Biz, everybody, they all filtered around Biz. I was supposed to say, Kenneth never fronted on me. RIP to my boy Ken do. So because Biz didn't really like me, then you'll get others that will, if they got the chance, they would front on me. But I never allow it to happen because I'm not, after the big bump in them thing, that was it. I was like, that's it. No more. Now you done. Now I know who don't like me. Now I know now it's on. From then, I was never not gun playing. I'm not promoting it, but it was like, I will never get jumped again. Because I was younger than them. Remember, they're older than me and they're bigger than me. All right. So, and it matters when you're younger. When you get older and they get equal, like now it's equal. It is what it is. But, when I'm younger and they older, some of them can beat you because they older and stronger. But back then, the gun equalized that for me. I'm not promoting that. This is just what I knew in my life. My gun equalized the playing field. Yeah, you bigger, but what about, once I get this gun, we equal. You can get one too. Let's go. Who got the heart? Everybody ain't had a heart to stand in the middle of a gunfight. For some reason, I had that dark heart to be able, I wasn't scared to die in none of it. I was a gun clapper, facts. And I'm not promoting it. It's just what it was. And I went to jail and all that for that. I got a gun charge on I served my time for any crime committed. I'm not promoting it. This is just a testament to my life story. So now we in White Castle parking lot. I'm at like a young apex. We got money. It's the height of the crack era. I mean, it's money. We got money. I don't remember what cars we had, whichever cars. I just know I got big, chains and money, girls around. We fly and they all getting high and everybody around. And I don't know if I pulled up on it or if I was already there, but I think I was dead. But Gene, okay, I'm trying to remember Spotty. So for those who remember the details, I got to piece it together as much as I can. So it was about 10 all around. And, and they, the toughest ones was there. This is the part, Dickie, that bugged me out. The toughest ones were there. The tough crew in the Slick Card. They were there. Everybody was there. So I remember Gene, this is what I think, I'm spotted. I think Gene pulled up in a car. And then was about to go into White Castle, but he saw that, listen, Dickie, he saw that Slick Card, that like the crew was over there. And as he walked, now he with one or two people. It's like 15 of us over there. Don't get this twisted. He with one or two people, he walking, and I think he must have just saw them over there and said, hold up, hold up. And he came over. Now, I just want to Dickie said to say peg leg, that's Biz, and Drill tried Aunt Alfred in school, and we had the biggest fight against Slick Car. And of course, Gene was like, it's on. This went down at Nancy's store. You're giving me the foundation, Dickie. I'm so glad. That's why I posted on Facebook. I need y'all to come in because I need to know why what I'm about to tell y'all. Listen, Dickie, I'm about to tell y'all what you might not know. Listen. So I never knew why this happened. You telling me why it happened now. He said that because Biz had one leg, guys. So Biz they call him peg leg because his leg got cut off. I'll tell that story in a car wash. So he got one half of his leg. So he got a peg leg, right? So they call him, his nickname used to be Peg Leg. Shout out to B.I. No hard feelings, B.I. We just, that's my, in the hood, guys, you fight. You live to fight another day. You know, it is what it is. Some people don't like you. Some people don't like, it just is what it is. So I ain't got no hard feelings. Shout out to B.I. Hope you're doing good, Biz. All right? And there's no offense. No offense. Just I'm going to tell the truth of what really happened. This is my testimony of my life. This is what happened. And for the people that affected my life, whether for good or for bad. Okay? Now, shout out to B.I. So he said, Biz and Drill, that's Deuce, tried Aunt Alfred in school, and we had the biggest fight against Slick Car, and Gene was like, it's on. And that happened at Nancy's store. Now I got foundation. All right. So listen, Dickie. We there, right? The crew, right? So I'm smoking with him. It's all cool, right? Because, it's all good. And all of a sudden, I just remember Gene coming over. And, Gene had that walk, right? So, guys, Gene walked really, he run fast. One of the people he run really fast. So he moved fast, right? He kind of short. I don't know what he was. Not really short. Maybe Gene was like what, God? Dickie, what you think Gene was? Like 5'10", 5'9", maybe? If you can write it, Dickie, right? And dark skin and compact, right? And smooth skin. You see him? A pretty chocolate. Sexy chocolate, that's what they call him. Like that movie. Sexy chocolate. I ain't calling him sexy. I'm a man. I was just talking about the Eddie Murphy. I'm making a jokey joke. I ain't calling no man sexy. But he was a handsome, dark skin, right? Smooth skin and all that. Gene, right? See his little smile and all that. So he was 5'6", 5'7" at the most. Thank you. That's what I thought. Because I grew. Remember, it's because these stories I'm telling, I was short. I was young. So now I'm tall. Shout out to AC, big AC. AC said he was 5'6", 5'7". Thank you. 5'6", 5". I thought he would be short because now I'm 6'1". So he's short, compact, a little wrecking ball, right, AC? Like, boy, you get that boy a football. He tell you get that boy a football, he going through the whole line like a little. All right, so anyway. So all of a sudden, here come Gene. Now remember, they taller than him. These boys is body. Here he come. Him and like one other person. He might even been by himself. But I think he was he was by himself. I remember now. He was by himself. Listen to this when I'm telling y'all. Listen, if I'm lying, I'm flying. This is fact. He was by, and I'm going to tell y'all why I remember now. I know he was by himself. He comes walking over. It's about 15 of us in the circle. The whole slick card or camel, I guess the slick card. That's what you would call it back then, right? He walks over. When he walk over, now I don't know they got beef. I think I was at that party that Dickie was talking about, but I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy trying to be a rapper and on the mic and messing with girls and stuff. I was young. And Gene always protected me. He always, I remember, that's why I said I was in that party because I remember where he lived and all that stuff. And I remember him checking on me and like, you all right? And, all that, right? And he's like, this is my house, because I didn't know it was his house. He's like, this is my house, this is my party. So let me know if something go on, right? So I didn't know that, and that's why I remember, Dickie, that I remember that. They left their equipment. So anyway, so he walks up, guys. He walks up, yep, on Harvard. He walks up to the crowd. So we're in a circle at White Castle parking lot. And remember, the parking lot is kind of late now, so the parking lot is kind of emptying out a little bit because we've been there for a while. It's probably 2, 3 in the morning, White Castle, after a club or something, right? So he walks over, and I remember when he walked over, I remember everybody started getting agitated, but I didn't know what was going on, right? So they was like, and then he walked over, and I can't remember verbatim, so I'm gonna just piece what I can know. He said something to them, right? Probably along, I don't know what he probably something about. Now I'm just paraphrasing. I'm not saying this is exactly what he said, but I'm gonna get to the stuff is fact, right? Because I can't remember all details. So let's say he walked up and said something like what all y'all punks, what all y'all punks doing? That type of thing. Like, no, listen, one single person walks across a parking lot to a crew of like 15 from a hood, and he's by himself. And he walks up and say, what all y'all punks talking about? Something like that. All right? And so when whatever it is he said, I just remember I looked at him and I'm like, who? And I looked at them and it was like, yo, so and I was like, what is happening? Kind of like, and he was like, again, I'm just paraphrasing. This might not be exactly what he said. Something along the lines like, y'all heard what I said. Y'all all, every last one of y'all is Utsy. I don't curse, guys. I don't curse. I'm a man of the Most High. Like now his dude is he's in a cipher with all these dudes from who he's by himself. He said like something like every last one of y'all is Utsy. And I look like, right. I look like, now I'm looking at Gene and he looking past me. Like he acknowledged me. He didn't walk up and say, yo, cause guys, he always called me Little J. Even though he knew my name was the God Rashawn, Gene's thing with me was he always wanted to let me know, you my little man. I knew you from you was little. So I respect that you the God Rashawn, and I respect all that, but to me, you'll always be Little J. That's how, and I always received it from him. I never said like, Gene, you know my name is Rashawn. It was that type of big brother thing. That he the only one I ever allowed to, even my family, I never allowed them to call me that. My name is the God Rashawn. My name is Rashawn. That's, when I changed my name. But he always, I never ever said anything. He always like, Lil J. And I'm like, yo, what up, Gene? You all right? I always gave him that. And I knew what it was. It was a thing like you my little man. That type of thing. Right? So now, he come into the middle of the thing. So let's say this is a circle, everybody here. He's here. So let's say the cars, because remember, we got our cars parked, right? And we sitting around on the cars, on the front of the cars, and they got a session and they smoking and stuff, White Castle parking lot. And all the crowd is here. I'm about right here. So it's other people side of me, all people around. He walks from this part because he looked like he was going in the White Castle and he saw them and he beelined over there, right? So he came and he's about here. I'm right here. Other people are next to him and everybody's around. He looked and saw everybody. He did not say, yo, what up? he didn't say, what up, Lil J, or nothing, right? So, and he's generally calling everybody Ussy. So I ain't know what to do with this, Dickie. So I'm a little, I don't know what's going on, right? So I'm like, so he's like, all of y'all, that's right. I said it. All of y'all are Ussy, right? Something like that. Like he's come to pick a fight. That's what in front of all of them, right? So whatever he's saying, he's calling them out because he wants somebody to like man up, right? This is a fact. For those who was there, y'all know what I'm talking about. Sorry that I'm telling the truth, but this is my life story. So now, I don't know what to do with it because he's calling everybody Ussy and he didn't acknowledge me. So I'm sitting there like, I look over there and he's, when Gene, because he kept a little bit of a smirk, but when he's serious. That's why I said earlier, just because he smiled, don't mean you better know his temperament. So he's like, because when he talk, his teeth show. So, but he's like honed in. He's like, what? All of y'all are ussy. And he look around, all of y'all. And I'm standing there thinking, I'm like, I want to say, but Gene. Listen, guy, I want to be like, but it's little J. I want to be like, but Gene, little J. right, but I don't say nothing. I'm like confused because I'm like, is he mad at me? You get it? Because I don't know what's going on. And he never treated me like that before. He never ignored me my whole life. He always called me out. But he didn't say, so he's like, oh, y'all. So I'm sitting there like, so you know how you do this? You know how you go like this? I go like, you know how you just look straight ahead? I just look straight ahead, right? And it's so funny because I look around. Now, this is what I'm saying. No disrespect to nobody. I look around. Now, everybody is bigger than me. My crew, they are older than me, right? Shout out to Kev Kerr. Shout out to everybody because some of my official dudes like Kev Kerr, people who didn't front on me, I love you and thank you for not ever fronting on me, all right? The other ones who fronted on me, whatever. You still official. You can still fight, whatever. But those who fronted on me, you fronted on me, all right? Now, so I'm sitting there. I'm looking around, and then I look at everybody, and everybody acting like. So that threw me off because I looked around. I said, "Hold up, where the tough guys at? This dude is by himself. He just called everybody ussy, everybody, and he's looking at everybody, and he wants somebody to say something. Listen clearly." He wants somebody to say something. He like, oh, what? Y'all scared? Oh, now I'm paraphrasing. Something like, let's say he said this, something like, slick hard. What? Now what? Ain't nobody got nothing to say? All y'all ussy. All y'all ussy. Somebody, anybody, open your mouth. Anybody say something. And I'm looking around. I'm shook. I'm just going to. I tell you, this ain't a channel of fronting. I ain't fighting. I'm scared too, so they got the right to be scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm sitting there like, what I do to Gene? I don't know why. I'm like, I ain't do nothing to my brother. And I'm just like, well, I sure enough don't want no smoke with my brother Gene. So I'm sitting there like, I'm just looking straight ahead. I'm like, well, probably got a blunt. I'm just like, well, I don't know what's happening, but I'm sorry. You're thinking, I'm like, whatever I did, I'm sorry, Gene. I ain't mean to make you mad. So, but what I did, I looked around and remember some of them used to, the ones who so tough and the ones who, some of them be bullying other people, right? I don't never like bullies. Some of them, and I looked around, I'm like, what about the tough guys? So I'm looking around and I remember looking like, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. So then he walked up into the middle because he was standing, it's like a circle and it was there. He walked into the middle of the circle by himself. Boy, this is some stupid man stuff. He walked into the middle of the circle and he said, what? Say something. Say something. I smack the ish out of anybody. Say something. Where all that tough stuff at now? What? Y'all all pussy? Ain't nobody got no heart to say nothing? Somebody step up. And he was like, matter of fact, I swear, he said, if don't nobody step up, then I'm going to just start punching people in the face. You think I'm lying? This dude by himself in a circle around 15 tough guys, because they tough. And he said, if don't nobody say nothing to step up, I'm going to just start punching people in the face. And everybody was still just like, and I looked around now, honestly, I looked at my boy Kev, because Kev is my heart. I like Kev. Kev is tough. Kev could fight. And I felt bad, and I'm like, because Kev a good dude. And I looked, and Kev was just ignoring it, like, because Kev could fight. And I didn't like that. But some of the other ones who be bullying people, I'm looking at them like, oh, y'all tough when y'all got the upper hand. See, I don't like that. I like tough is tough. Be tough no matter what. That's why I said when they jumped me, when Big Bump came, all of a sudden, everybody quiet, right? Yeah, he was a fighter. Boy, no joke. Good heart, too. So I remember looking at Kev, and I'm like, but Gene was on one. He's just talking because the whole crew is together. And I remember Kev wasn't even with them at the party when all the slick cars. He was just talking to everybody. He was on one, right? So he wasn't singling nobody. Yeah, keep that same energy no matter what. I don't respect that, right? I'm sorry. You tough and you can beat up people when you got numbers and power over them. But then when this situation, so he's looking around, and out of all of them that was there, I never forget this. And I take it back. At this time, Dave-O was smoking, but he wasn't far out. Because I remember Dave-O was there from the Shacks. And this is the time where Kevin and them used to hustle at the Shacks. And out of all of them, Dave-O from the Shacks, out of all of them, Dave-O said, ain't nobody y'all just going to let him disrespect Campbell Park? This Campbell, like, he was like, and that shocked me. Because out of everybody, Dave-O and Dave-O wasn't the tough guy. Dave-O wasn't, I didn't even know Dave-O could fight or anything. Dave-O was just Dave-O. He was just cool as all outdoors. Dark skin, skinny Dave-O. Dave-O skinny. So Dave-O said, he stepped up and said, yo, y'all just gonna let him diss us? Y'all just gonna let him? He said something like this, because we wasn't Parkside, like this Campbell Park or something like that. And so Gene was like, oh, at least somebody got hard. Gene was like, somebody got hard. He was like, oh, so you want to step up? You want to take, Gene said, you want to take this for everybody? And Dave-O was like, and I remember Dave-O looked around and he's like, ain't nobody gonna do nothing? And Gene was like, oh, nah, yeah. Oh, you about to fight now. So Dave looked around like nobody gonna do nothing? Like, guys, it's one of them. It's like 15 of us. I can't keep sitting here letting them disrespect us and nobody say nothing. And Dave like, man, I ain't ussy. That's what Dave like, I ain't ussy. I don't know what they doing, but I ain't no ussy. You ain't just gonna be calling me. And so Gene was like, we got one. He said, that's what I wanted. Now, he in the circle, he said, that's what I wanted. So then he turns around. I swear, if I'm lying, I'm flying. For those who was there, I think Unique was there. They remember this. He turns around. He in the circle. He said, now we got one. He said, all right, it's on. You ain't, because Dave tried to like, Dave-O stepped up, but he's like, yo, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, I don't want no. He said, G was like, ain't no, you don't want none. You about to fight now. You about to fight. He said, so he turned around and he said, Jay, JJ, come here. I swear. Now, this whole time, he never acknowledged me, Dickie. He was calling everybody Ussy. He practically called me Ussy. I'm sitting there like, I don't know why. He ain't acknowledging me. He included me. I don't know what's even going on. I don't even remember why they got a beef. I don't know why he's so pissed at them. That was my thing, Dickie. I was like, why is he so upset at them? What did they do? Right? I don't know what they did to him, because I've never seen Gene like mad like this to be, I seen him fight. I seen Gene's a beast. You don't want to get on his wrong side, right? So he never said anything. So I'm sitting there like watching the show. Like Dave-O, I'm like, look at Dave. So now when Dave-O stepped up, I was like, Dave-O, what are you doing? Like, bro, Dave-O, you tripping, bro. Dave-O smoking on the side too. I'm like, Dave-O, bro, this Gene Grant, bro, you don't want to, but Dave-O had heart. Dave-O like, listen, man, I'm not going to sit up here. I'm a grown man. I'm not going to sit up here and have you call me Ussy in front of everybody. Like, it just is what it is. Everybody know Gene. So Dave know Gene, right? So Dave-O like, listen, man, you're not going to call me Ussy. I'm just letting you know, like, I ain't trying to fight you, Gene. That's what he said. But you ain't going to call me Ussy because I ain't Ussy. And Gene said, yes, you is about to fight me. Yes, you is, because you stepped up. So you is about to fight. So he turned around and he said, Lil J, come here. And when he said it, I said, and when he said it, everybody looked at me. Now I'm part of the crew. And he said it kind of like turned and said, Lil J, come here, and turned back like I was coming. And so when he said it, I'm caught off guard. So I'm sitting there like, did he just call me out in front of, like, this my crew? I'm like, but Gene, this my crew. Like, and then he turned. This is the funny part. So after he said it, I guess he thought I was already on my way. So then he turned and he looked. And when he turned, he looked. He gave me this look. He turned and he looked at me. And when he looked at me, the look was like, if you don't get your butt over here. And when he looked at me, I said, uh-oh. Come in. Come in, Gene. Right? That's my big brother. That's like, I knew Gene for a little boy. That's my big brother, bro. So he turned and he looked at me like, if I say it again, I'm going to pop you in your head type of thing. So he turned. I'm like, okay. So I started walking to him. Right? So now I walk from the middle, from the perimeter of the circle into the middle. He in the middle. Dave-O right here, he stepped up a little. Everybody looking at me. So I'm looking like, oh, what is he about to do? So I walk up to him, right? He called me up. I walk up to him. So he turned. So after he said, he didn't even say nothing the second time. He just looked at me like, if you don't get your, and then he turned back around because he's watching his perimeter in case, he on it. Like he's keeping his eye if anybody try to jump and stuff, right? So he turned back around to them. So by the time I walked up to him, he could feel my presence. I'm up to him. So I'm standing there and I'm just standing there, right? Now I'm not me, 6'1", I'm younger me, but I was still on it, but I'm younger than them, right? And I'm still a little kid to him, basically. That's my big brother, you know what I mean? But I'm still official, like my name, my reputation, all that. I bust my gun, all that. I'm not promoting that, but I'm official. You get what I'm saying? But this is my big bro, this Gene, right? So I walk up to him and I stand there and then he could feel me there and he's still talking. He like, no. You might as well take your coat off now because I don't want to beat you up in your coat. You're going to need your coat. He talking to Dave-O, right? He's like, you're going to need your coat off because I said, just Gene is crazy, right? So he turned. So now I'm there. He know I'm there. So he turned to me and he starts taking off his coat. So he got a jacket on, right? Because I guess it's about to turn fall or something in New York. It's not really cold. It's not a full coat. It's like a jacket, like members only jacket or something. So he takes his jacket off. I swear. He takes his jacket off and like, here. And he hands me the jacket. This is 100% fact. True story. He hands me the jacket, right? So he's like, here, take my jacket. So I take his jacket. And so when he gives me the jacket, I look around and everybody in my crew is looking at me and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, yo guys, it's like, they looking at me like what side you on? This is my crew, but I can't even explain it. I'm just like, I'm holding the jacket and I look around, I'm like, I'm sorry, guys. This my boy. Like, Gene is my people, right? I tell you, I knew people that was my people. That's like, so I'm like, so he gave me the jacket. He said, hold that, little J, right? Now, this is the acknowledgement that he didn't do when he walked up. Because every time he ever seen me, he acknowledged me like I'm his little brother, like, little Jay, come here. So that time he was too, now I put it together, he was too focused on some opening a can of whoop ass, right? So he without acknowledging me, he knew I was there, that type of thing. But he ain't got time. It's like, not right now, little Jay. I got work to handle, that type of thing, right? But he kept calling everybody Ussy, so I didn't know. I'm like, is you mad at me? You calling me Ussy? So then he said, here. So now I realized, oh, he acknowledged me there the whole time, but he had business to take care of. So he took his coat off, he gave me his coat. So now he had a chain on. So he turned back around. So he told Dave, he said, you might as well take your coat off because you're going to need that off. Because I'm about to whip your butt, right? So then he takes his chain off. Takes his chain off his neck. He's trying to get it off. So he's like, little Jay, help me get the chain off. So I'm like, come on, Gene. This is the funny part. I'm like, come on, Gene, you making it worse. It's bad enough I'm holding your coat and I'm gonna help you to beat up my boys. I'm like, but he's like, help me take the chain off. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm like, all right. So that's my boy. I'm like, all right. So I take the chain off. He give me the chain. He give me the coat. He like, all right, go stand over there. So I go and I walk over with his coat and his chain. I see them looking at me and I'm like, well, this is my boy coat and his chain. It is what it is. That's my heart. That's my boy, right? So then I swear, but guys, I want y'all to understand the predicament I'm in. This is my crew. And it's like, I'm like, this is crazy. I can't believe he even did this. That's why I was like, I cannot believe that you just did this, G, right? So then he turns and he said, all right, come on. And now the funny thing is, he said, go stand over there. Yeah, get out of the way. Because the funny thing is, Gene believes in a fair fight. See, this stuff I watched, I'm bearing witness to my big brother. He believed in a fair fight. That's why I said, as long as you was fair and honest, you good with him. But don't be foul. Now, of course, I'm quite sure he did some foul things. None of us are perfect, but I'm just saying my general of what I seen Gene growing up. So he told me, get out the way, go stand over there. So I go stand over there. Now, people, they looking at me. I'm like, now at that point, I was like, whatever, because I'm like, let me explain something to y'all. If because I'm holding Gene stuff and whatever he do, if y'all think when we get back on Campbell Park, y'all gonna front on me, it's on. Now I'm talking about the ones who were secretly hating, not to Kev and them, the ones who, to them, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, but them, I'm like, it's on. I'm already thinking like, y'all think it's about to be something. Y'all think we gonna go back and y'all gonna front on me, gunplay. It's on and popping. Now I'm not promoting that, but that's what I was thinking. So at that point, I started to get into warrior mode, because now I seen them look, the ones who be secretly hating on me. I seen them look at me and I'm like, whatever. Facts. And that's why I looked at them and I was like, oh, all that tough stuff y'all talk, let me see it now. Let me see the tough stuff now. One dude by himself. So now, he said, all right, let's go. Come on, Dave-O. Get in the center of the ring type of thing. Gene crazy. So Dave-O came out, right? Shout out to Dave-O. Shout out to Dave-O. I swear. So Dave-O, I was so impressed because the fear is so strong right now. You could cut it with a knife. Dave-O walked out and threw up his stuff. And Gene, oh my goodness, bro. Dave-O came out and threw up his thing and did like this. And Gene, I mean, this thing was extra worldly. I mean, extraordinary stuff that I saw. Yeah, Dickie, like Mike Tyson. That's what I'm talking about. If you go, listen, guys, you go to the early Mike Tyson fight, his clips when he first, before he got heavyweight champion, and everything was so, yo, I'm not lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Now we in White Castle parking lot. Gene, it's nighttime. He's already kind of dark skinned. Dave-O is dark too, right? And he's tall. And Dave-O came out, and he came out and threw up his hands to fight. And what I saw, it's like, I don't know, God. It's like it's like he wasn't even fighting. He didn't even throw up his hands. It was so fast that you couldn't even see it. You couldn't see it. He said, it's just like Dave-O threw up his hands and went to fight, and all of a sudden you just see boom, 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 boom. It was so fast that you needed a camera to slow it down in slow motion. He just started hitting them, and it was so fast. Yo, Dickie, it was so fast that it was like you couldn't even see where the punches was coming from. They were just like, and he didn't even prepare it. He just started. It was just like, and each hit was like a brick, a hammer hitting you, but so fast, bro. And when he started hitting on Dave-O, he hit Dave-O so fast and so hard that Dave-O couldn't even like gather his bearings, like because he threw up his thing. And fighting, I know how to fight. You gauge, you watch, you got your guards. You looking for if they're going to try to sweep you, if someone might try to kick, if they're going to do an overhand or whatever. It was none of that. Soon as Dave-O put his hands up, it was like he was on top of him. It was like a magical thing. Boom, and he's just hitting them so fast and so hard that all Dave-O could do was like, he was trying to, and he was swinging, and he would swing, and when he would swing, he was like, boom. And then by the time he hit him up, he tried to swing, Gene is over there. I'm telling y'all, he was moving so fast that every time he would hit Dave-O, and those hits were hard. I mean, hard, like a brick hitting you in the face. Every time he would hit Dave-O, blood popping out and stuff, by the time Dave-O tried to swing again, he's over there. And then he would hit him, and then and by the time he tried to swing and hit him, he's over there. I swear, it was that fast. He was hitting them and going around the side of him and hit him and then be on this side and hit him and then be on this side. And he was, bro, I mean, he was hitting Dave-O so hard and so fast. And then Dave-O would boom and hit the ground. Boom. And he hit the ground. Boom. And he stood there. What? I'm like, okay, I came back. Y'all let me know if I break up again. They messing with my internet. Let me know if y'all can hear me. And so then he's I get one bar. Let me know if it's breaking up. I don't want this to. Y'all let me know when y'all can hear me again. And if it broke up a lot and y'all didn't hear, let me know the part that y'all didn't hear. I don't know if y'all can hear me now. Okay, they can hear me. All right. So Dave-O hit the ground hard. I mean, hard and bloody. Boom. And I'm looking, and Dave-O was cool with me. I like Dave-O. And I look, and I'm like, Dave-O? Like, I wish I could help him, right? But I can't, right? So I'm like, dang, Dave-O. And so he said, who next? Who next? Right? And everybody standing there. And so then Dave-O got up and said, I'm next. I swear, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Dave-O crawled up the ground, blood dripped from him. He said, I'm next. And Gene turned around like, oh, this this fool got. So Dave-O got up off the ground, and I'm like, no, Dave-O. you know how you be like, no, Dave-O, stay down. Stay down. Right? Dave-O got up and said, I'm next. Bloody. So he said, oh. So he turned around, and Dave-O threw up his hands. Dave-O threw up his hands, and he on him again. Soon as he threw up in his hands, guys, it was so fast you don't even see him move. And I liken it to it was dark and he's dark and he's so fast that you can't see him. So it's like he was dipping in and out of the darkness. That's how fast he was moving. Like, so Dave-O said, I'm next, and he got up and everything, said, come on, and boom, boom, boom. I mean, just as fast as he said it, it's boom, 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 and he over here, boom, boom, bang, bang, and punches, and he's swinging, and he caught him too. So one time he caught him. Yeah, it's like he was bending the matrix. I swear it was like he was bending the matrix. I'll never forget this. And one time Dave-O caught him, boom, with a nice one, boom, and he hit Gene, boom, and I'm like, ooh. But he was swinging, he just swinging. So he just caught him. Because guys, he's moving so fast. Only thing Dave-O could do is swing. You better swing. A punch coming here, then a punch here. Next thing you know, you're in front of you. Next thing you're on the side. And Dave-O, and he caught him. Boom. And I seen it. And I was like, whoa. And I seen Gene in the midst of him dipping around like, oh, you caught me. Oh, good. You're fighting back. And he just hit him. Boom, boom, boom. And then he just grabbed him. Woof. And here you go. Boom. Oh, my goodness. The slam. The slam that was heard around the world. The slam was like break your bones crushing slam. As he's hitting him so fast, next thing you know, he's down at his legs. And I give Dave-O everything because he couldn't even see him. You couldn't even fight this dude. He picked him up and it was on. Just through the ground. I mean, the slam was so hard. I was like, everybody like, oh. And then he was on him. He slammed him and then he was right on him. And the punches were so fast and everything is dialed in, hitting this mark. And and to the point where all Dave-O could do was just cover up. And he was just beating him through his covering and beating him and like, yeah. You think you got hard? You think you got hard? And then he stopped. He stood up. And he was like, who next? Who next? And I'm looking like, so y'all just gonna let him beat up Dave-O like this? It's like 15. I know y'all be jumping people, and I ain't talking about to the good ones. I'm talking about the ones who, y'all know who I'm talking about. Now, I don't know if Biz was there. I'm saying that because I don't want to bear false witness on nobody. I don't know if B.I. was there. I don't remember. He might have been. But I know the others was there. He might have been there too. I don't know. But I just remember looking like, where's all the tough guy stuff? Now, this is one person, and y'all just let him beat up Dave-O like that, and ain't nobody doing nothing? So Gene said, he on one now. Now he done got blood because Dave-O done hit him. He done fought. He got blood in his mouth now. Ain't no stopping him now. He looking, he walking, and he said, oh, yeah, y'all too ussy? He said, but guess what? I'm going to make you fight. Yo, this thing was the most, I'm telling y'all, this story was the most insane thing. And it looked like it went on forever because it was so much fear. And it's because even though for the ones who used to front on me a little bit, it's still my hood. I still got love for my hood. I got love for my people. And I feel it's like it's going on for so long. I feel sad. I got mixed emotions. I'm like, I wanted to stop, and I'm like, I want to say, James, stop. But I can't eat on one. It just, and I don't even know what it's over. So I know to learn to mind your business too. It's a motto in the hood, right? If you don't know the root of something, keep your mouth shut. That's a jail thing, a prison thing, and a street thing. If you don't know the foundation, you get yourself in some serious trouble. You wait till after it's all over, and then you find out what it was about. Be very careful stepping into grown folks' business. Y'all hear that saying when we little? Stay out of grown folks' business. Stay out of people's business when you don't know what's going on, because you'll step into it and get yourself inside of it, and you had nothing to do with it. The hood motto is mind your business. Facts. So I knew in my spirit not to interrupt Gene and say something to try to calm him, because I could see how mad he was, and I don't know what was going on. I don't know what they did to him, but whatever they did, I ain't never seen him like that. Now, he said, oh, everybody, y'all too ussy, step up. He said, I'ma make y'all fight. And I was like, no. I was like, yo, they can't get out of this. Yo, Dickie, he was like, I ain't gonna let y'all out of this. Now remember, guys, he's by himself. He's by himself. He said, I'ma make y'all fight. And I was like, what? What kind of gangsters? So then, when he said, I'ma make y'all fight, all of a sudden you hear, you ain't gonna have to make them fight, because you gonna fight me. It's Dave-O again. Dave-O then climbed up off the ground, half dead. You hear me? Now remember, he Debo, but he 5'6" or 7. And some of these dudes are big. They bigger than him and stuff. Dave-O then climbed up off the cement. He bloodied up. And Dave-O said, you ain't going to have to make him fight. Now listen, he getting up. He can barely stumble because you're going to fight me. I said, and the winner goes to Dave-O. I said, Dave-O, I ain't no boy. I don't know if I would. I don't think, honestly, I'm just going to be truth to power. I ain't that tough. I probably would have been, I'm out. You know how sometimes you call a hand, I'm out. I tried, I fought you, you left me alone. It's not like, now if you still stay on top of me, I'm going to fight you till I die. But now you didn't, it's clearly I ain't got no win, and you done moved on. I'm going to let you move on, right? That's just me. I'm just telling the truth. I tell you, this channel ain't no faking. I tell you, I'm not the toughest. Shout out to Aaron Henderson. Shout out to A Fresh in the building. Yo, A. I'm like, yo, A, I'm just telling the truth. I'd have been like, you know what? I stepped up. I did the best I can. I can take this L and live to see another day. Right? And I would have just said, you know what? It's all good. I did mine. Now they got to handle theirs, right? But Dave-O got up. Yo, A Fresh, this Dave-O, the Shacks, the Fiend Dave-O, the Supreme brother. Y'all remember he used to smoke. Shout out to Dave-O. I don't know if he's still alive. Yo, A Fresh, Dave-O got up, body half broken, blood everywhere. Dave-O said, you ain't gonna have to make him fight. He said, you gonna fight me again. I said, Dave-O, I wanted to say, no, Dave-O, stay down. A Fresh said he's still moving around. Yo, A, if you ever see him again, if you remember, tell him Rashawn, tell him the guy Ross said he loved him. And I told the story about him when he fought Gene at the White Castle. He gonna know what you took. I know he remember this fight for the rest of his life. Tell him, A, tell Dave-O, Parkside's finest. You heard? Facts. Yo, A Fresh, that boy got my respect from then. I'm like, that boy got the heart of a lion, boy. So, yeah, yo, Dickie, stay down. You know when you're in the fight, you throw in the towel. See, we boxers, stay down. You don't want to get back up. Dave-O got up Dickie, he was half broken. He said, you gonna fight me again. So when he said it, Gene back was turned because Gene was he was about to fight. He trying to make them fight. So he turned around. When Gene turned around, he looked like, this fool, did this fool just get up off the ground? So I seen Gene's face. I seen his face. His face, he got that little smirk on his face. He put that little half smile on his face. And that half smile meant, I respect this dude. I respect this. I'ma still beat it. I'm about to beat him down, but I respect this. So Dave-O got up and threw his hands up halfway, like, and Gene turned around and just, you would think he would have a little mercy. He would, and Dave-O punch him back, hitting him, grabbing on him. The green, Gene elbowing him. They going at it, and then he laid him out again. Boom! He hit the ground, and that was it. And he hit the ground, and when he hit the ground, I'm looking at Dave-O, and I'm like, stay down. I want to be like, stay down, Dave-O. And then he turned, and then that was it. A Fresh said, Preem, Dave-O, and Kurt. That was a rough household. Remember that back in the days? A Fresh in the shacks. So when he turned around, now he's really upset. And I think he was upset because he was like, this is your comrade, right? This is what I got from this part. He got extra upset because now he just beat Dave-O down, and he know he ain't really getting up to fight again this time because he put it on him, right? And he turned, and now he was mad. He turned and he said, y'all Utsy, and I think he went after, now I don't know who he went after first, but he went after somebody first. And I think, let me just do this just because this is the one I remember. He went to Billy Moore, and Billy Moore was heavy set, and Billy Moore could fight too. Shout out to the Moores. Shout out to Dorian and them. They could box and stuff, right? Shout out to the Moore family. And Billy Moore could fight too. And he just went and just started. Yeah, Lenny brother. He just started. And you ain't got no choice. It was like he was bringing you. It's like if you don't want to fight, you ain't got no choice now. And he just started hitting Billy Moore. Yeah, Pig brother. R.I.P. the Pig. And then Billy started fighting. Of course he's gonna fight. He ain't no punk. He a fighter too, right? Shout out to my crew. My crew was fighters. I just didn't understand. I'm just being honest. I just didn't understand why they wasn't jumping. Gee, I guess respect. I don't know. I never could understand that. I never could understand why they didn't just all get together and just jump them, because it's enough of y'all. I'm not saying that's what I wanted because that's my brother. I just didn't understand, right? I'm staying there. I'm neutral because that's my boy, and my boy is fighting, people from my hood. Now, I'm saying it again. It wasn't the ones who rock with me, really. They would front on me if they got the chance because they did it. So it was a strained relationship, just so you aware. Now, for those like Blase, those like Kev Kerr, those like Kenneth Hill, those like the ones who never ever fronted, Doug Fresh, a fighter too. Shout out to Fresh. All right, those certain ones who never fronted on me ever, salute. All right. So now, but it was certain ones that fronted. Now, so my thing was, why? Because I seen y'all jump other people. I seen y'all bully people. I see, where's all that smoke now? Why y'all ain't got that same energy and Gene is by himself? So then he started, he just set it on Billy Moore. And now he got no choice but to fight. Now, so he just rushed. So they still in the circle. He just went and he's so fast. Next you know, he on him. And he just start hitting him. So Billy started fighting. He's like, yeah, that's what I want. Fight back. Just Gene, fight back. Y'all know it's going down when somebody tell you to fight back, right? He like, fight back. So he just starts, so Billy could fight too. So Billy started fighting, and he was, and Billy light skinned, boy, he was tearing him up. Each punch was like a boom. I was feeling it. You could feel the punches. And he's so fast. Guys, I'm feeling sorry for them because they can't, it's like you can't even see where it's coming from. He's so fast. It's like he's bending the matrix. He's moving around, boom and boom and boom, and the punches and boom, boom. Because I'm ascertaining if it would have been me, right? I'm like, bro, I would have just been like, stop punching me. You'd be like, stop hitting me. You need a gun. Yo, I swear, I saw Gene Grant fight like 10 dudes. And like, you need a gun. And even if you had a gun, you'd be trying to catch him because he moves so fast. Like, stay still. I can't even shoot him. It's like, I swear I'm not lying. I'm telling y'all the facts. What I saw, I was there. It was like, he was moving so fast. It's like, stand still. We can't even shoot him. So fast, bro. That's why Dickie was right. It's like Mike Tyson. When you see, it's like he was punching so fast and moving. It's like you can't even get your bearings. So he was hitting Billy and Billy trying to fight him. He beating the mess out. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then slam him and boom. And then, thank you. Turn down my mic a little bit. Thank you. I should have turned it down before. It's probably been peaking this whole time. That's not cool. I know it's been peaking the whole time. It's gonna irk me when I watch this back. All right. So it won't be peaking from here. Because peaking is horrible. It's bad sound. All right. So I'm feeling bad because it's like hold on, I'm trying to get my stuff set up again. All right. It's like no wins, right? And it's like he's hitting them so fast and he's moving so fast and now he's on one. So he's fighting Billy and he's like whooping him out. But Billy fighting back. I'm not taking nothing from nobody. All right? He fighting back. He got no choice, honestly. Either fight back or run. He better not run. That's some hood stuff. You run, you can never come back to the hood, right? So Billy fighting back, but he whooping him out. And I'm looking, and just to be transparent, no disrespect, certain people fronted on me before. And so I wasn't feeling bad about certain people that was getting that. Now, Dave-O's cool. I was like, Dave-O, stay down. Dave-O was neutral. Dave-O wouldn't know. I didn't even know Dave-O could fight before that. And Dave-O fought. He got a couple licks in, too. He just you couldn't see him. He was too fast. You couldn't fight this dude. It was crazy. It was the next level. So then, so he's fighting Billy, and I just remember like, this what y'all get. All that, because I've seen people do some foul stuff, and they would have did it to me given the chance. I ain't stupid. I never was stupid. I never been nobody's fool. I just never gave you that chance. And if it ever did, then this, it would have been on, right? I just don't like that. I never like people, I don't know. I don't like two-faced people. They're cool with you here, and then when you turn your back, they're talking about you and plotting, and then cool with you again. That's snaky stuff to me. Sorry. Just telling the truth. Y'all know this channel. I just tell the truth. So when Billy was getting that business, I'm just being honest. I was like, That's what happens. Foul stuff, chicken comes on the roost. Shout out to Bill if he's still alive. No hard feelings. We grew up in the hood. Hood got a lot of mess. Y'all know what it is. So that's just what it was. So anyway, he was whooping Bill out, right? And he's so charged that he left Bill and just jumped on somebody else. He beat him down to the ground and then went and jumped on somebody else, right? He said, you taught the hood, you don't have to speak to everybody just to be respected. Facts. Shout out A Fresh. Facts. And he just jumped on someone else. I can't remember who it was. And he just started beating them. And now it's outside the circle because he started, because everybody's in like a circle line. So when he jumped on Billy, that kind of pulled him in the circle, beat him, and then went and started hitting somebody else. And he hitting them, and they backed up. Now he outside the circle. He punched, and then I swear, this is what happened. I'm telling y'all the truth. This is what happened. And this, yeah, Zadayak, this is a fight. So imagine, I didn't even think of that, Zadayak. Zadayak said, that's a lot of cardio. Because I'm a fighter and I've been in fights. And when you fight, you get tired. You get winded. One good fight of 5 minutes is like forever. I mean, you really winded. So you gotta, that's why in the gym right now, I prepare. I fight train in the gym because I never know if I'll get into a fight. So I actually take the weights. This is what I do. Some for y'all too, advice. I take the dumbbells and I can take now, literally, I can take the 60 pounds. You hold a 60, take a 60-pound dumbbell and hold it like this. And I can punch with a 60, right? If you start off with the 20s or 30s because it's going to be heavy. You got to train, and as you grow, you'll get heavier. So the most I could take now is the 60s, and I take it. So let's say I usually take the 40s, and now that I grab the 40s, and then I might go up to the 50s, but I can do 60s because I tried. I want to see how far I could go, but that's too much weight. So I'll do the 40s, and then if I feel good, I'll take the 50s, and you take them, and I punch with them, like, right? I do punch with them, and then I go, and I go like this, and turn my body, and I go, with the weights, and I go, till exhaustion, then I put my hands down, and I hold them down, and I go like this for my traps, and I do a set, and I put it down. Then I'll relax for a little while. I'll do a couple of sets of those. The punch. So what it's doing is it's getting the weight. This is for those, it's just not saying you're going out to try to fight nobody, but you have to tune your body in case, because you can get jumped by people. You know, you don't gotta be going to start something and trouble come your way. You want to be prepared. So what that's doing is, the reason why I'm using the heavy weights and I hold them up there like this too, I hold them for a while, because what people know who fight, holding your hands up like this for 5-10 minutes, you won't know until you get a fight. It's hard, y'all. It get heavy. You get tired. People get winded. And if a fighter is training, I used to be like that. And I had fights where we fighting and the person got winded. And I'm like, oh, now you're tired. Now you're done for. Once you get tired and your hands start to drop because you can't hold them up, you better run because you're about to get whooped out. So fighting is no joke. So a good fight for 5 minutes, he's right. That cardio, and so that's why I call it fight training, because I never know. So if I ever get into it, I can hold these up for a long time because I'm holding them up with the 50 and 60 pounds and I'm punching with it. So what I'm doing when I punch with it and I try to, it's hard. So you'll see when you try to do it with the lighter weights, I turn my fists. But with the heavy ones, it's harder to turn because it's so heavy and it's trying to pull your weight down. But what I'm doing, I'm building up the stability in my shoulders and my punch, the power, so that if I'm punching with these 50 pounds and 40 pounds weight, as I'm training with them every time I go to the gym, that if I start to fight, the punch power will be strong. And the shoulder power and holding my dukes up for longer. And it's not because I want to fight. It's just that I don't want to be caught off guard. You always never want to get caught slipping because you never know when you have to defend yourself. All right? So that's a little advice. That's what I do all the time. And the people, the little young boys in the gym be looking at me, they probably think I'm a fighter. And also when I do my sit-ups, that's another one I do. Just another little advice. So I do my sit-ups on the bench that you lay down, and you put your legs and you lay flat, like decline. And then you do sit-ups. What I do is I do sit-ups. I'm doing it for my ass and my stomach is getting fat. But when I get to the top, I go like this. So I go down, and when I come up, I keep my hands like this. And then I go down, sit up, and I get to the top, and I punch. I go down, and then I do two. I go down, and I keep punching. So all I'm doing is getting used to. I don't want to get stale and old and a reflex. So if something happened and I ever have to defend myself, my body is like foreign. is foreign for me, a punch motion, and this motion is foreign. You don't want to get caught out there. All right, just advice, not to fight nobody, but to prepare yourself. All right, so now let me get back to the story. All right, so so now after he handled Billy, and Billy fought back, but you can't. It's like you fighting somebody in the Matrix, right? And then he jumped off Billy and hit somebody else. I don't remember who it was. Start wailing them and fighting them, and then he wailed them, and then he came back to the circle and punched somebody. Yo, he just started beating up everybody. Yo, I am not lying. He started beating up everybody, and he started going person to person by himself. This is a fact. Somebody was there when y'all watch this, because over on Facebook they watch. They get there be a lot of watchers. Somebody was there. There was enough of us there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't lying. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He started going person to person, punching her, beating, and they would fight back, and he would hit someone. He said, he just started beating up everybody. I'm not lying. He just started beating up everybody. He was fighting them all, one by one, and they didn't jump him. That part I could never understand. They didn't jump him. He beat on this one, beat on that one. He beat up enough of them, probably like 4 or 5. And it's so funny because Dave-O came up again. I'm not lying. So when he was fighting another one, Dave-O came up again and tried to fight him again, like to jump him. He turned around and boo, knocked Dave-O back again. He like, I know he respected Dave-O, because Dave-O came back again, like, nah, you still gotta fight me. He like, boom. But now he's on. He's on one. He's fighting like 6, 7 people at one time. That's what I thought too. That's what I was thinking. Zayana said, I wouldn't want to jump him either. I don't want that smoke later. That's what I was thinking too. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, the only reason why they ain't jumping him, because they got to be wondering about that next, what's going to come after. But now this is where I'm pointing out. This blew my mind. Real gangster, thug, ghetto stuff, you don't care about no later. And I'm saying it because some of them who they was doing it to was acting like they was real killer gangster thugs. They used to jump people and beat them up. And I was like, that showed me everything. Facts. Because I know some people who wouldn't have had that and would have been ready to like, well, then you just gonna have to kill me. I know that. But I'm not saying anything. I just saw what I saw. And he beat up a bunch of them. And I don't know how it stopped. I don't remember. I just remember he got to a point where he felt like he made his point. That's what happened. He felt like nobody ran. It's like after he would fight one of them and beat him up, because he's basically beating everybody up. I'm just calling it what it was, right? They were fighting back, but he was beating everybody up. I saw it. And after they would get up or whatever, they would finish with them, and then they would stay there. Nobody ran or nothing. And then he would go to the next one. And until the point where I guess he felt like he made his point, right? Yeah, she said Gene was showing that they wasn't what they portrayed. Facts. By himself, though. He was by himself the whole entire time. And the reason why I really remember he was by himself, because I had to hold his coat and his chain. If he wasn't by himself, he would have gave it to whoever was with him. He was by himself. And he finished what he was doing. I remember because he had somebody, they was on the ground. He stepped over them, and he stepped and walked back kind of in the middle. He said, y'all want that? He said, y'all want more? Anybody want more? And everybody was just, picking themselves up and doing whatever. he's like saying stuff. Now I don't remember exact the words, but it was stuff like, "Don't y'all be something, something, don't front no more. Don't something, 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 something." And it was just like, and I'm looking like, this dude, what in the world did I just see? Did he just beat up? I'm sorry, it's just the truth. I said, did he just beat up like my hood? Now that's not my full hood. Don't get it twisted. We got some killers and all that too. But that was the crew that was there. He just beat them up, about 6 of them. Shout out to Dave-O. Dave-O fought to the death. Dave-O was no joke. I said, this dude just beat up like half the Slick Hard crew by himself. Facts. Low key, high key. He just beat up half my hood. and I'm just being the truth. I'm sorry. It was just the truth. And he was like, and made his point. And then he was talking to him. Like, now y'all better act like y'all know. Act right. Like, he just gave him some get right. He just administered some get right. And I just couldn't believe it. And yeah, Dave thought somebody was going to tap in, but they wouldn't. And then Dave tried to tap in when they was, so he was beating up somebody else, and Dave-O helped out, and still got a KO piece. But I swear I give mad respect to Dave-O. Dave-O is definitely the winner. Dave-O, win for Dave-O. Dave-O got a W. The W's that day was Gene, Grant, and Dave-O. 2 W's got out. Dave-O W for his heart. Facts. Dave-O, skinny black Dave-O from the Shacks. So then he finished, and he made his statement like he had a speech almost at the end, right? He finished his speech, so you say, and he looked around, and he made sure nobody want none. Nobody want none, right? Everybody good? And then he turned around, and he walked straight to me. And I looked, and I said, oh my goodness. He walked to me, and he said, he put it on. He like, help me put this on. I said, all right, turn around. So I helped him put it on, put his thing on. So he grabbed his coat, and he's like, turn around. He said, you all right? I said, yeah, I'm all right. I said, you know what you just did, right? He said, oh, I'm sorry. Just, like to me, because I'm like, you just beat up half my crew, and I'm giving you your coat. It said, it looked crazy. I'm just being honest with you. It looked crazy, but that's my man. You understand? That's my boy, and I was mixed. I don't know what to do, right? Y'all are my, crew. Now the ones he was doing it to was not really like, it was that, you get what I'm saying? It was, so it wasn't like, because if it was that, I would, I don't think you could have stopped him though. But if it was my crew, definitely I would be like, Gene, I would say, that's my people, Gene, my heart. And then he would have to tell me, no, they did something to me. And then you have to, see, that's hood politics. That's street politics, right? Right? Now, another street politics is your crew stay together. They should have bounded together and handled their business. So I never could understand that. Not saying I wanted my boy to lose or wanted nothing. I'm just being an outside, a conscientious objector. I'm looking at this, from the outside, right? So then he put his jacket on, and he was like, you all right? You straight? He's like, he said, any of them you want me to beat? Any of them you got a problem with? And he didn't know, but I'm looking, I'm like, well, you beat up everybody. I had a problem with that. But I didn't say nothing, but I said, no, I'm good. I'm like, you beat up everybody kind of. I had a problem with everybody who kind of fronted on me. You kind of beat them up right in front of me. I saw it. Now, he fought a couple, 1 or 2 who I really like, and they fought back. Now, I'm not taking, everybody fought back. I want to explain that. None of them ran. Nobody ran. Nobody said, I don't want to fight. They all fought back. They just couldn't beat them. Just that's what I saw, right? And 1 or 2 of them was something I'm like, oh man, but they took it. It just was what it was. But when he asked me, I'm like, I ain't say it, but I'm like, well, you beat up the ones who I didn't like. You handle them, right? And then that was it. And he was like, all right, I'll see you around. Take care of yourself. And then he went. And he looked around again at them, and everybody, they went back to what they're doing. And I guess he went into White Cow. I don't remember. And he went off, and then that was it. And I'm like, now it's weird because this was the energy. I just watched Gene Grant beat up half the crew, right? And he walked off. Nobody jumped him. They didn't do anything. And nobody knew that. Nobody knew. That's why I know people in the Heights didn't know that I had this relationship with him. That was like my big brother from when I was little. He knew me from in my house as a little boy, getting in trouble with my grandmother because he dated my sister when he was young. They were little, middle school stuff. He knew me from when I was a little kid in elementary. So I'm like, sorry that y'all don't know this is my people. That's my boy. He always looked out for me. So now he walks off, and I noticed this. They act like what happened, him giving me the coat and everything. They act like it was no energy. I didn't feel no like, oh, you gonna get it, or it's on with you because they just act like that didn't happen. They just went talking amongst themselves and such and such. And then I think Unique and them was there because I wasn't by myself. I'm never by myself. My car. I forget who was in my car. I don't know who was in my car. But I remember them looking at me, and I remember saying for when they did it, I was like, well, if it's gonna be beef now, with y'all gonna ain't no jumping me no more. Right? That stuff, from when that happened with Lil Bum. I was on different energy time. I'm bigger, and at that point, I'm a little older. So I ain't no, please. It's gonna be definitely gunplay. Now I'm not promoting that. Zadiac said I would have definitely called you out, right? And they just act like that didn't happen. But I was thinking that later on in the hood, someone would be like, yo, Rashawn was holding his coat. Rashawn's it, but nobody, I have never to this day heard nobody ever say nothing about it. Ever. I guess they chalked that up to, I'm guessing they might have figured, well, he can bring him back. Which I've never called on Gene to help me for anything. I guess if it ever, because he always asks, you got a problem? Whenever I had a problem, I didn't remember him. Because I would see Gene every once in a while. Now that I think about it, I had a back pocket. I had a trump card because I needed help through times in my life, but I never thought to go find Gene because I would see him so randomly. And wherever I would be, it would always be when I'm on the Heights, he would always ask me, but I never thought to be like, yo, I got Gene. I could go get Gene. I'm glad I didn't because I don't want to get him into something. Because Gene is a protector by nature, and I could have got him into something and he could end up getting shot or something, right? So anyway, I was looking for it. No one ever said anything. I've never heard nothing to this day till I'm telling this story. Nobody ever said nothing about you was holding his coat. you was on this. Because I would have told him, yep, that's my boy. Facts. You got a problem with it, then handle it. Because I wasn't like that, the ones who didn't like me. Now the ones who I like, I would apologize. Like, I'm sorry, that's my people. Because you my people. But that's my man. Like, that's my heart. That's my people. So I was stuck in the middle. I'm not going to front on him, and I'm not going to front on y'all. Right? I wouldn't have, if he would have asked me to help him, I would say, Gene, I can't help you. Like, I'm going to make sure none of them hurt you too. Like, I can help you, but I can't help you jump them. Like, I can't, right? So anyway, and after that, it was like it never happened. So Brother Dickie now told me, I guess this is why it happened, because they fought. But I always was like, why was he so mad at them? That was the thing. I was like, why was Gene so mad at them like that? Why did he want to fight all of them so bad? I never understood it. But he got RIP. And I got this last part. I'm going to try to make this quick. I want to say a story about Dave so I can apologize to him. RIP to my brother, my big brother, Gene Grant. Gene Grant nature was a protector. I seen that growing up. He didn't like bullies. He didn't like people with negative, like as long as you was good and stuff, you on his good side, you good. He protect you, he gonna cover you. But if you foul or something, he's the type that be like, you wanna be foul? Let me see how foul he can be. Like that. He gonna handle it. Very, very, very well respected. All over. Hempstead legend. I haven't seen Gene do no real darkness. I didn't know he went to prison till Aubrey Muhammad wrote the chat that he was in Elmira. I'm like, oh, Gene went to jail? Oh, I know he was a beast in jail. I know. One thing I did notice growing up, I never knew, only people from the heights can tell me this, if he ever sold drugs or not. Because during the crack era, it was mad drugs. We was all hustling. But I never known Gene to sell drugs. Maybe he did and I just didn't know it. But yeah, I never known him. Now, of course, I know he had to do some, I don't know what he went to jail for. But I never knew him to sell drugs or nothing like that. Maybe he did. I just didn't know. I knew him for playing sports, football, and just being a good dude to me anyway, and a strong fighter. And then I got the news that he was dead, and I never knew why. I never knew what happened till tonight. And look what, he died protecting someone and beating up. So you ain't beating him. Sorry, it's gonna be a draw. Because ain't nobody, you're not beating him. It's gonna be a draw. And I just wanted to tell this story to my big brother Gene, R.I.P. And how he protected me my life and always wanted to look out for me. And most people never knew that me and him had this relationship. And when that happened in White Castle, I know they all was like, why? I know they had to be like, where's the connection? They didn't know it was from when I was a little boy. That was my big brother. And he always, whenever he got a chance, looked out to protect me. That's my story of my big brother, Gene Grant, R.I.P. So to his children, to all his people, to his children, your dad was an honorable man. He was an honorable man. He didn't like fake people, false bullies. He was the one who would stand in the front and tell everybody, stand to the back, I got this. He was a warrior, a true warrior. And I know a lot of y'all got his genetics in y'all. That's why his daughter was like, you should see his grandson play football. And that's why I know when Saquon told me about Skeet, when he was young, he was like, Skeet knocking everything out. And I seen him and he looked just like him. I was like, Dad, he looked like his dad. I'm like, yeah, I know he could fight because it's in his DNA. So for his children and for all those who loved him, I loved him too. And this is my dedication to my big brother, Gene Grant, Eugene Grant, R.I.P. I love you, big bro. I love you, Gene. And thank you for being there for me in my life. Now, I'm going to close out with this. I'm going to make it quick because I'm tired. This is about Dave-O. Fast forward to 1992. The story on the channel when I was on my block. The story on the channel where they caught me slipping at the phone booth. When they came to get me and I'm shooting out the Freeport dudes. I'm having shootouts. I'm out of my mind. This is my darkest time ever. 92, Parkside Projects. I did my time for any crime I committed back then. I went to prison for it. I did time for it, right? I did my sentences for it. I was shooting my gun because the stick-up kids was robbing people and shooting them. This is a story on the channel when it was foggy and they come in to get me. So because I was shooting out so much, I was out my mind. And I was Parkside till I die. That's all I knew. If you come on Parkside, if you ain't stamped and official, I'm coming to see you. Who that? Because they were shooting people. They shot my boy Ty. They shot Sconey. They shot a lot of people at the shacks. They laid them all down. They robbed all their packages and they shot everybody on the ground. They got all their packages and then they shot everybody in a line. So it was a thing where they was robbing you and then they was shooting you after they rob you. Crazy. You got my stuff. So that had me crazy because I was having shootouts with them every night. That's when the story on my channel, when they caught me at the phone booth. They almost wet me at that phone booth. And after they almost killed me at the phone booth, they caught me, they had to drop on me because I was on the phone. After that, I was like gun crazy. That was my darkest ever in my life. For those who see me later in life or different parts where I was chilling, you ain't known me in 92 on Parkside at night. That was the darkest. It's been other times I've been about it, but a lot of times I'll be chilling. I'm Rashawn, I'm chilling. I'm always chilling. Most people know me for chilling. And for those who younger, you might have seen me just really not be about nothing because I've already put in my work. I'm chilling. I was always. But for those who do know, yeah, I'm official Parkside legend. And I'm one who stamped it. I'm telling for the youth who didn't know, who come up under me. Yeah. Some of those who you got written down, shout out to my little brother News. I seen this thing. Some of those news, you can cross them off your list. Some of them, my generation, they really didn't put it in news. You might have, but some of them, and some of them who should be on the list, you don't know about. And my little brother News, you didn't know about. The reason why I'm on the list for making money, but he ain't had me on the list for putting it down. But remember Junebug, shout out to Bug Brown. Bug chose it, and you got others say, I came up under Ra. They seen me put it in for Parkside. I was one that put it in for Parkside no matter what, bullies, all that, Pudge, Z-Black, all that. You ain't coming on Parkside, I'm going to step up. Now, for those who see me later, I was chilling. A lot of people see me chilling, you might not know that because I'm happy-go-lucky chilling. But I just, like I'm giving flowers. I know I give myself my, because I know I put it in. I was one that's no matter what. Who that up here? Who? They used to come get me sometime. Oh, somebody up on the block, I don't know who it is. Who? I'm going to see. Ride up on the bike. Who you? What you doing up here? Who sided you? Who up here? Who? I ain't play with Parkside at all. Yeah, Justo, I probably know him. So now in 92, this was my darkest era. And I did my time for any crime I commit. I went to jail. And remember the story when the cops tried to kill me in the backyard? That's this time. I went to jail and served my time. So because I'm having shootouts with these stick-up kids, and later I found out it was those Freeport dudes, I'm out my mind. I'm shooting this gun all the time, like all the time. So it's just like, I'm crazy, literally. So at this time, I'm running my block in 92, and the shacks, I'm running everything because by the time the stick-up kids, when the stick-up kids were at their height, people stopped coming out at night. I'm just telling the truth. Kev and Wes and them used to be in there late at night. Sometime the God used to be in and out. But a lot of people would stop selling because it was the stick-up kid. They was shooting everything. They was riding around in that burgundy Pathfinder, that white Mazda 626. I think they had a black Cherokee too, that I knew the trucks because I would tell my workers whenever you see the truck, and I would shoot at the truck. It was on between me and them. They shoot my people, it's on. I was going to war with them. So because of it, most of the streets at night, people was hustling. They were not at night, so all the money was coming to my block on Elm Street. So we was making all the money. I'm talking about it would be So what happened is people from the shacks, sometimes people would be nobody there. And so Dave O and them, the Fiends, Supreme and them, they would come from the shacks to my block on Elm Street to get work. And like, so they know I'm out there every night. So what happened was Dave O came. So it was this season. Jamel Henderson know what I'm talking about. That's how I started messing with L. The story on my channel where he was walking in the fog and he like, whoa, where you at? He had a big stick because he wanted work because nobody was out. People started coming out early and leaving because it was spooky. I don't blame them. It was nuts out there. Not calling nobody nothing. It's just what it was. And I'm not calling, if you wasn't on Parkside then, I'm not talking about you. So don't get in your feelings. All right? You weren't out there. This is 1992. 92. I know what I'm talking about. Right. So if you wasn't there at night at the shut, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Now, so because of it, it would be plenty nights at this season. We called it stick-up season. It was a lot, fog happening a lot. And so sometimes the shacks, nobody would be there. So the guard wouldn't be out, or Kev Corbin had packed up and left, and nobody's there. So the Fiends at the shacks, it was nobody. So they would come to my block and get work. So Dave O came. This is a particular night. So he came and like, yo, Rob, right? They'll come find me. I'll be in the woods and the bushes, all black on. I remember the story with Buck, and we running through the woods and stuff. I had my bike and all black. That's time. So he was like, yo, Rob, right? And I'm like, you know, because you'll have to find me. So we have lookout points on the block. I'll be in the bushes and all black. So I'm on it because it was on, stick up kid. So I'll come out of nowhere. So you got to call, say my name, you come on the block because I could be in anybody's yard at the front in Mighty K's. Mighty K's live on the corner in his backyard. Or I can be in any Sister Brown, what's the name house, further down in the middle of the block. I could be all the way down at the end where Clenzo old house at in the block, or AB in them yard or something. I could be anywhere on the block, right? So you got to call my name. And I was like that so that if the stick-up kids, I could get a drop on them, right? And also we used to hide from the police, right? But the police didn't come too much because it was a lot of gunfire. So the police would only come when it was really, they got a call and they mount me up because it was mad gunfire going. It's 92, Hempstead, Strong Island, Parkside Gardens. So this particular night, Dave O came, he's like, yo, Rob, right? So my lieutenants and they like, yo, I'm like, who that? They're like, that's Dave O. I'm like, Dave O from the shacks? They're like, yeah, Rob, ain't nobody out. I know he coming to get work. You want us to let him know where you at? I was like, yeah. Now, guys, this is Dave O after the fight with Gene. So this is years later after the fight with Gene. I don't know how many years, but this is years later, right? I'm bigger, I'm older, right? All this. So I had the ultimate respect for Dave O. After that fight with Gene, man, I'll be like, yo, Dave O. Dave O is a Hempstead Parkside legend to me. Heart of a warrior after what I seen him do with Gene Grant. And I seen others who's supposed to be so tough, News. You hear me, News? I seen the tough guys, News. I seen them not even want to fight. Shout out to my boy Bad News. Shout out to Demo. Shout out to their generation. The Hendersons, Boot, everybody. Shout out to A-Fresh. Shout out to their generation. Yo, News. I seen some of them on that list. Fronting, News. Yeah, I know you don't like fronting people. I know you don't like that. Some of them you got to scratch off. I ain't going to call them out, but it is what it is. So after that News, I seen Dave O. I was like, Dave O is a Parkside champion. So after that, I had ultimate respect for Dave O. He ever needed something, I look out for him. Because I'm like, boy, that boy got the heart of a lion, boy. Boy, that boy got more heart than me. I would have sure enough threw in the towel. I'm like, listen, I ain't trying to get beat down unless I got to. If I got to, it's one thing. But if I ain't got to, man, you win, bro. I ain't like that. I'm like, listen, bro, you win. That's enough. I ain't trying to be all lumped up looking like Martin on the thing. I tried to beat you. I just couldn't beat you, man. I can't even see you. You punching me I'm good, bro. I ain't never been stupio, right? Not stupio. It's just not calling them stupid. Some people just like that. I respect that. You know, I got the heart of a lion, but I got a stopping point where I pull out a knife or something. That's too much, too much, too much. Now I got to shoot you. Like, no, I'm not promoting that. I'm not saying to y'all to shoot nobody or nothing. That, all right. I'm just saying this was my past life. Now I'm a man of the Most High. I come in respect and love. Okay. So that was my past life. So I'm just keeping it real. This channel is about, I'm just telling the truth. I don't want y'all to make it like, I was this and I can do. Nah. Dave O had the heart of a wildebeest. I'm like, I don't know now, wildebeest. What's fearless? Tasmanian devil, those little fearless things. So anyway, so my one of them, Mike or somebody, one of them who used to work for me back then, and I did my time for any crime committed, they was like, that's Dave O. And they told me the shacks is dry because nobody out. Everybody went home already. It's probably like 3, 4 in the morning. It's foggy, it's spooky out. And the dudes was like, listen, we made enough money. We got home, which I understand. But I was running my block. It was on. I was at war with the stick-up kids. So I'm out there looking for the cars. I'm out there trying to chase the cars because I'm running them out of there. I'm trying to catch them. They almost caught me slipping twice. They almost killing me. I'm at war with them back then. So then the they was like, yo, it's Dave O. They told me, I said, nah, tell him come on. That's my boy. That's Dave O. Right? So he came down. He's like, yo, wow. I'm like, yo, what up, Dave O? He's like, man, the shacks is dry. Nobody there. So I'm like, what, you know? He's like, yo, I want some work, bro. We dry. We need. And I'm like, all right, I got you. So I'm like, all right, Dave. Now he's smoking, right? So I'm like, all right, Dave. Now I'm going to give you this, but Dave, don't mess it up. You know what I mean? Like, because in the streets, now I'm not promoting this, but in the streets, your reputation is everything. If you give someone something and they don't pay you back, then forever, everybody, you're a victim, you're a mark. Meaning, if they don't pay you back, then everybody think you a mark. Like, everybody think they could just take your work and your packages, right? It'll filter, right? So all the fees, everybody, it filters the hood, it's gossip. So I was like, I don't never let nobody play me. If I give you this, you got to bring it back. And if you don't, then I got to handle it because it's, you know, it's street politics. It's dark stuff. I'm not promoting none of this. That's the old life I was living. I'm just telling my testimony story for my past life that got me 25 to life and 15 to life. And now I got a second chance at my life. And now I minister to people around the world to bring them out of darkness. So now I told him, like, yo, Dave, I was like, I'm going to give you this, but you don't mess my money up. No, I got you raw. I got you raw. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, Dave, I'm telling you, man, you're my people. I'd rather not give it to you, man. You know what I mean? Just get you some money and buy it, and I'll give you double. He's like, nah, bro, they coming. He's like, come on, you know how much money is at the shacks? And he's right. They come in by the thousands. So he's like, nah, bro, I can't. I need a package. And I'm like, so I gave it to him. So he took the package and he went, right? So when I sent them, I'm like, yo, go watch him over there at the shacks, man. You know what I mean? Because I don't. And so they went. So he went. He finished about an hour, whatever, later, half an hour, he come back. Told you, Ra. He come back with all of it. He like, so I gave him another one. And he like, I'll be back. So he go again. And I know it. It's too good to be true. He knocked it off. He came back. I love you, Ra. We killing him. You know, he said, I'm going to go take a break, go smoke or whatever. You know, because I know he smoked. He with a hammer. He came back like, I'm ready again. So now it's getting early. I used to leave at 6 a.m. when the daylight come. I'd be out there from 12. I used to be out there from 12 a.m. to at that time, in the whatever, if it's 6 a.m., whenever the daylight start to come, I'm out of there because I live in Queens. I got to drive back to Queens. But I'm out of there in the day. I'm like a vampire. It was always like that. Daylight to burn me. I'm in the dark. And I used to shoot out the street lights, night street lights. Street black, bike black, all black, hoodie black, tin black, everything. Black, well, I have to have one chrome ratchet, but black ratchets, all that, all black, everything, hiding in the cuts, right? So, and I'm not promoting it, just what it was. So the last time I'm like, nah, Dave. I said, I'm out of here because, you know, he said, nah, Rock, I got one more run. Come on, before you leave, this one for the road. And I'm like, Dave, come on. Nah, Rock, come on, Rock. We've been rocking all night. Let me just get this one. So now with this one, when you leave, I'll have enough. Because, we don't sleep. Because, they feed. So I'm like, all right, I gave it to him. He left. All of a sudden, it's getting time for me to wrap up. So I'm calling everybody to ante up, right? Pay everybody off, do what I got to do. I'm like, yo, where Dave-O at? So I think I sent Sconey or somebody over to the shack. Go find Dave-O, man. Tell him he got a package. So Sconey, somebody went over there on the bike. They come back. I can't find Dave-O. So I'm like, oh, nah, come on. It's like, I think he left with the I'm like, nah, not Dave-O. Come on, Dave. So I'm like, oh, come on, Dave-O. And then I'm like, all right. So I sent somebody else. Somebody else like, I'm going to go look for him. So they went and looked. They like, can't find him. So now I'm like, man, I got to go. I'm like, man, Dave-O did me dirty. And I know it'll filter through and I got to handle it. So then somebody else was like, yo, I'm going to go look, Rob. I think I know where he be at. So they went and they found him. So they came back. It was like, yo, Rob, we found him. I think he messed up your package. Because I told him that you was leaving and he was like, he's acting funny, he high. And he was like, tell Rob, I see him. And I'm like, oh. So now I got on the bike. And I'm like, where he at? So I got on the bike and I'm riding to the shacks from Elm Street. So I go across and in Adams Court, you cut through the cut in Adams Court to go around where Yaya house was, where Yaya lived. Cut across and go around where Czar used to live, and that one straight ahead, and you cut through and go to the shacks. And as I'm riding on the bike, I cut through Yaya and I cut through and I'm riding and I look and I see people in the cut, like on the side of the building in the cut. And I look and I said, that's Dave-O. Caught him. So I dropped the bike. And I'm like, Dave-O. And he said, I said, come here, Dave. And he like, yo, Rob, I was going to come looking for you. I'm like, nah, Dave. You knew I had to leave. I said, look at you in the cut. I wasn't hiding, Rob. And he half high. I'm like, Dave, I told you, man, you can't mess my stuff up, Dave. He said, nah, I got you, Rob, I got you. I said, all right, so where's that? I got, and he pulled out like a little, I said, what is this? Oh, I got you, Rob. I got you, yo. I said, nah, Dave. I told you don't mess up. He's like, Rob, man, come on, Rob, you know it's me. I got you. I said, nah, Dave. I told you, bro. Nah. I wasn't in my right mind. I was in a dark space because I was shooting out so much. Reese, that I wasn't normally me. That's why when you in the dark, that's why the scripture said, be careful who you're around because you take on spirits. Because I was around shooting and killing all the time and I was just out, I was dark. That's all I knew. I was enveloped in it. And I'm like, nah, Dave. And he like, yo, I got you, right. And he like, no, I'm a. And I'm like, I can't let you, Dave. Where my money, Dave? I ain't got it, Ra. And I said, what? And I pulled out. And he said, yo, Ra, this me. You gonna pull out a gun on me? And I'm like, I told you to mess up my money, Dave. And the only thing I'm thinking is I can't have that go out in the street. Because if it go out in the street that he messed up my package, shout out to my cousin Shalisa, and I let it live, it'll filter. And this was a dark time with stick-up kids and everything. I'm not condoning it. This was just what I was living back then. And I repent for all of it. And I did time for these crimes. I went to jail and stuff. So I'm like, I wasn't thinking like me. I was thinking like the streets. I was just thinking like, I said, nah, I told you, Dave, don't take it. I told you, don't mess. He said, this me, Ra. This me, Ra. And I'm like, I know it's you, but I told you, Dave. I told you. He said, so what you gonna do, Ra? What you gonna do? You gonna shoot me? I said, don't get loud, Dave. He said, this Dave-O, Ra. You can't front on me, Ra. We people. I said, Dave, I told you don't take the package, it's mine. He said, so what you gonna do? Then shoot me. And I just took the gun and boom, in all one motion. Whoa, it was fast, he didn't even see it. Bang, I hit him and pistol whip him, boom. And he, and when you pistol whip, it's hard. And I hit him, boom, and he went down, boom, and he fell like, yo, Raw. And he was like, and he hit him and it bust him. It hit him hard. It bust his whole, wherever it hit, side of his face open. Because a gun, if you pistol someone, it's hard. And I caught him hard, boom. And he went down and he jumped to the side. He's like, yo, Raw. And blood was dripping down. And he looked at me. And when he looked at me, he cowered down a little. And he looked up. He's like, yo, Ra. And it really broke my heart, guys. But I couldn't let it be shown. I had to front. I'm just telling y'all the truth. When he looked at me with like, he was hurt. Like I can't believe you would do this to me. Because I'm Ra. I'm known to love. Like, I'm cool. Like, I would have never did that to Dave-O, honestly. I was just in a really dark space from shooting out with the stick-up kids all the time. I was at my darkest I ever been. Like, I'm thankful I didn't kill nobody. And the Most High, I would be in, I'm thankful he stopped me from killing someone. And when he looked up at me, he took his hand down the blood. He was like, Mira? And I just like, it broke my heart. I'm telling y'all the truth, but I couldn't let it be known. I had to front. And I said, yeah, I told you, Dave, don't mess with my money. I told you. And he's like, Mira? And he just stood up and he was wiping his face. He said, I can't believe you did that to me, Ra. And I was like, I told you, Dave. I told you. But I had to, so that it would go out that, you see, that not that he took my package and nothing happened. It's like street politics. It's horrible. It's dark stuff. And he walked off. I said, Dave, tomorrow, have my money, Dave. He's like, I can't believe you, Ra. All right, Ra, I'll work it off, Ra. I'll work it off. I said, all right, tomorrow when I come out, come to the block, and you're going to stay on my block and you're going to work it off. He's like, all right, Ra. You got that, Ra. You got that. You got that. I remember, Dave-O remember this. It's you got that. You gangster. You gangster. Because he know me, I wasn't gangster. Like I'm not gangster. I'm a good, I could fight. I'm about it. But I'm not the worst, But I was in that gangster. It was horrible, bro. I'm so ashamed of that space. And I repent for that. I'm glad I got out of it and didn't kill nobody in that space. They tried to kill me, the cops. Remember this story? So anyway, I remember he's like, I got it, Ra. I'll be there tomorrow. And he walked off like, I can't. And, he wiping his shirt. He took his shirt off and wiped. He got blood dripping because I bust him open. He's leaking and he walking back into the parking lot to go back to the shacks. Like, I can't believe you, Ra. As he walking on, I can't believe you, Ra. And he looked back at me. I said, all right, Dave-O, tomorrow, Dave. And I'm fronting, though. My heart is really broken, Reese. I'm really fronting. I can't believe but I gotta play the role. So I got on my bike and I rolled back and they was like, you seen him? I'm like, yeah, I seen him. I said, he gonna tomorrow, make sure he here. I said, if y'all see him while I'm gone, because all the fiends, I said, tell him, make sure he here. I said, he going to work it off tomorrow. And I ain't say nothing. I didn't have to tell nobody what I did. Of course, the next day it went through everywhere. Rob pistol whip Dave-O and this and that. And, that's what you want. Nobody, we don't want to mess with this package. That fake gangster stuff. You know what I mean? But that's the street politics, right? So then after that, the next day I came back, he came. And he was like, his marks on, he's like, you're right, all right, I'm ready to work it off. I said, all right. I said, you're going to stay here. So now I could take it to the shacks. I said, no, Dave-O, work it off here because I don't want you messing around. I don't want to have to shoot you, Dave. He like, Rod, you would shoot me? I'm like, Dave, stop playing. No, I wouldn't have shot him. He didn't know my heart was broken, Dave. I felt so convicted even after I finished. So when I got back to my block, I gave him all this stuff. When I rode home to Queens, I felt bad. When I got home, I felt bad. I never stopped feeling bad for that. And then he worked it off. He stayed. He worked it off. When he finished, he said, all right, Rod, you straight? We good? I'm like, we good, Dave-O. I'm like, no hard feelings, Dave. He's like, I still can't believe you did that to me, Rod. I don't care. I love you, Rod, but I can't believe you did that to me. I said, Dave, you know how the street is. He's like, I'm not messing with you, Rod. And I don't blame him. He said, if I ever need something, I'll come get it. But I can't believe you did that. And he went off. And, we've been in and off and all that, back on and off. But that's why I started off, and I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry, Dave. I apologize for my darkness and my sin of what I did to you. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry from my heart. I was just in a very dark place, and I'm not that wicked and evil to do that. You know what I mean? I was just in a really dark space at that time from shooting out with the stick-up kids. All right? And, the street politics. So that's the story of my big brother, Gene Grant, from Crown Heights, Hempstead, Strong Island. And Dave-O is older than me, too. And my big brother, Dave-O, from King Hills, from the Shacks, Parkside. Always make amends for your wrongs. Repent for the sins. This ain't a life to be lived. I end up almost getting killed by the cops at the same time. I got locked up. I got a state bid for it. I lost my family. I could have lost my life. They tried to kill me in the backyard. I end up later getting a 15 to life and a 25 to life. And now I got a second chance. I beat the 15 to life by taking it to the Supreme Court. The 25 to life, I would have got the sentence. I did 3 years fighting the 25 to life, or 2 years. And then the Most High gave me a second chance on this channel. And I did 1 year in a drug program, inpatient, horrible. And I got a second chance to amend my life. And now I'm a servant of the Most High to teach through this testimony TV, the trials and tribulations and the growth, that if I can go through all the stuff I went through and turn my life around to serve the Most High and help others, everyone can. Everyone ain't have the same lot in the life that I had. The life that I lived growing up in the ghetto, I didn't have my parents. And because of it, there was a lot of wrong. Thank you, Brother Reese. There was a lot of wrong things because I didn't have the proper guidance and the proper things in my life, which all kids should have. And because of it, I made a lot of mistakes and errors. It's the ghetto life that they planted on the people, us, and they planted these neighborhoods. And I'm gonna play a song, and this song is describing our life. In the song, I talk about news, demo, and country did so much time and suicide and killing and people dead. Our people that are dead. R.I.P. to the people. The truth should set you free. Salvation is in the testimony of our lives. Shout out to Anisha Hutchison. Shout out to Dave Hutchison. And this is the story of redemption, this channel, repentance, redemption, and telling the truth of the story. And this can happen in every ghetto and lives all around the world. All right. And this story that I wrote in 2005, this song describes our life growing up in our ghetto, and it's a ghetto life of people everywhere. But this one was the ghetto life of our life in Hempstead. I made this song called Ghetto Life in 2005 when they used to call me Luciano in the rap world. This is Ghetto Life.
I've been swimming in this ghetto life.
Yeah.
I've been living
2005.
in these ghetto streets. Inside, got a better life. Hey, yeah.
Yo, him, with Joey Mecca. So this one's personal to me right here. This shit is the truth. Hip-hop needs some real truth right now. You feel me? I really seriously think hip-hop needs me right now. All these clown rappers, all this make-believe, y'all ride with me. I took 2 texts when I'm in 90 up the street. Then go beat Lex and tell him why I'm in all this heat. It seems to be a thing that we born within this ghetto. A hot jump shot, a book of rhymes, all this metal. It's a defeatist attitude developed in high school. While those with stable homes look on like they the wounds. So brothers be like, fuck it, that's the motto of the hood. Well, y'all apply to college, our projects is where it's wood. I'm living in this trap, only fact I got my gap. Now I'm all strapped up, and little Chuck got it tucked. And reload these, spitting that breeze over weeds. And reload knees, shooting at leaves, toking trees. I violate beer, I drink up on it like it's water. My mind ain't clear, I'm working on it cause my daughter. My life ain't fair, my mama left when I was 1. She's out in Bed-Stuy, I'm on the island in the slums. It ain't my fault, society made me to a thug. In the 90s it's grimy, 2000s is blooded up. And low crip too, it's cause of family that is blue. And no blood red, so many dead that is sad. The funeral homes is lost and plenty orphan flipping coffins. While Drug Man Dan is at the orphanage giving orphans. And y'all blame us while Judge Vincent's giving the sentence. Out there ain't us, we in the system getting fenced in. And y'all blame us.
I'm swimming in this ghetto life. And I'm living in these ghetto streets. The system got me living metal life. And they pop me when I can't drink. There's gotta be a better way to life. There's gotta be a better way to be. Now I gotta be a friend tonight. Gotta be the one to make you.
Y'all close your eyes and vision drastic being stabbed. Imagine Joe hanging in the back of Linden Ave. Imagine Wild Man up in heaven having a fight. And Shaheem the God is telling court to keep it light. Imagine True Indeed and J Thug is alright. Dressing in all red up in heaven blood tight. News demo and country so much time it ain't hype. And 15-year-old Scully getting 25 to life. This is my life, my cousin Chase is Brooklyn's ace. Be up on gates with 38s in the skates. And all my life my cousin Wise sticking guys. All on the heights with 45s on his sides. It's sorta incredible the way I thought pattern does. It's sorta regrettable the way the courts batter us. So brothers be like, fuck it, that's the motto of the hood. While y'all excel in college, our job shits is where it's wood. My father, he bailed, my mama left when I was a baby. I turned God body when I was 12, that's what saved me. By age 14, I bought my first whip machine. Trues and dollar bills, my new Impala wheels. And oh my God, I was that beast at making sales. And oh Rashawn, I run these streets like frickin' jails. I'm from Hempstead, what the fuck you can't tell? It's down the street from death and round the corner from hell. But y'all can't tell.
Now I'm swimming in this ghetto life. And I'm living in these ghetto streets.
So that's
System got me living metal
that's ghetto life.
And they pop me when I can't drink.
Sorry guys, can't get rid of it.
There's gotta be a better way to be. Now I gotta be a
All right, so that's my song Ghetto Life that I made back in 2005. I just don't want to play the whole song only because I'm going to release it. So I don't want to have the full song out there before I release the song because I got albums to dictate the life, my life. And so it was just appropriate song to play. I was supposed to play it at the beginning to start it, but I went in to tell a story about my brother G. So again, it's nothing to promote. It's just the ghetto life. That was so I'm just describing. I got another song where I tell about more of my people that are gone and dead. All right. So it's like, it was the soundtrack. When I went to Harlem, my boy was like, I got this beat. The dude singing, he made the beat, Joey Mecca from Harlem. And when I heard the track, I was like, oh my goodness, give me a pen. And y'all close your eyes and vision Drastic being stabbed. Imagine Joe Mays hanging in the back of Linden Ave. He hung himself. See, it's my true story. All right. Thank y'all for joining me on tonight's live. The story of my brother, Gene Grant, Hempstead legend. Shout out to my brother, Gene Grant. Shout out to my brother, Dave O, Hempstead legend. All right. Dickie said, yo, Unc, I had this hook that when ghetto life is what you want, word is bond, come and see me, I'll put you on, LOL. Shout out to Dickie. Thank you, everybody who helped out. Thank you to Dickie who helped out. Thank you for everybody who helped out with the details of Gene and filling in some of the details of the story. Thank you for all Hempstead tuning in. Hempstead, Strong Island, the whole Strong Island. Thank you to the whole New York City. Thank you to my ministry, Mashiach Assembly, Victorious Ron, everybody for joining us on Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV. Another one down. Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV. Y'all know the motto of this channel. Keep it functional. And also the motto is love the Most High, y'all. This channel it's a channel of redemption. It's a channel of repentance. It's not to glorify the street life. It's not to glorify killing. It's the salvation is in the testimony. It's to tell the testimony. I'm writing my book orally. So this will be my book. So I'm telling my autobiography. So every story I'm telling, the people in it had an effect in my life. They had an effect on me. I'm just not telling willy-nilly stories of people. Everybody that I tell, it's a reason behind it, and there's a story behind it, all right? So in the streets, be careful out there. Keep your head on swivel. Watch everybody. Read people's energies. Read people's spirits. Don't just watch people's actions. Look past the people, even those of your own family and those of your own household, even your children. These kids out there be on devil and demon time now. People got spirits over them. So be careful. Keep your head on the swivel and watch everybody. Don't sleep on nobody. Watch your children. What presence, who you got them around. Who is your children around? Watch your uncle, your cousin. Watch the brother and sister. Watch, people are getting molested. People are getting stolen. People are ingesting other spirits for people. It's getting darker and darker and darker. The darkness is enveloping. So we are called to be a light in the darkness. So I'm being a little light in the darkness. That's why there's a message in every story I tell. It ain't to glorify. I'm a man of the Most High, and I minister to people all over the world, from all over the world. We shadow band, but we still reach thousands of people all over the world, even through the shadow band. And I got a redemption story to tell, and that's what this channel is about. Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV.
Bossy, you know what it is.
We keep it funky. Bust it. You know what it is. I see y'all tomorrow on the ministry live. I got a dope one coming out. Y'all know we still exposing this darkness. Y'all already know what I do over there on the teaching channel. Shout out to everybody who be tuning in for the ministry and the teachings that we do. History, I'm breaking down the physiological and the chemical compounds of our makeup and how it relates to the scripture and the darkness. Oh, we broken it down through the shadow band. I love y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. We out.
This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha cause I like to talk that choo-chee. All the time on the grind, getting that doochie. This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories every week.
Police are on the scene of a triple homicide on Long Island. It happened overnight at a home in Hempstead.
I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dark side, strong, the wrong. They think I'm supposed to